Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us and welcome to Game Day in the Region on the Region Sports Network. We come to you today from Lucas Oil Stadium as Armor Construction presents live audio coverage of the Class 2A 2025 football state tournament. As today, the Andrean 59ers will take on the Brownstown Central Braves. I'm Mike Dewan. I'll be taking care of all the play-by-play for today's action. And joining me once again up here in the broadcast booth is my season-long partner for this final chapter of this 2025 football season, Zach Miller. What's up, Zach?
Dude, it's been awesome. This is part 2 of our championship coverage here in Indianapolis here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Looking to see Andrean face Brownstown Central and get us a win on the board here for the region.
Yeah, last night we were here for the 5A state finals for Maryville against New Palestine, and it was a 17-17 ball game for quite some time entering the fourth quarter until New Palestine pulled away to go back-to-back. 38-17 was the final score. So now the other team on Broadway, the smaller school, the Andrean 59ers, hope to make it their 4th state title in program history, Zach. They last won this big dance in 2022. They fell in that one. They're trying to win their first state title since 2021. But an exciting time to be here, an exciting team for the Andrean 59ers, seeing them all season long. A team that schedules tough, as they always do. They win the NCC and obviously played their way into this game.
Schedule's tough, and there's no team better prepared in the area for this moment than the Andrean 59ers. Coach Chris Skinner, who, as you said, he was a player on the 2004 state championship team and a coach for the 2021 championship. He has this team better prepared than anybody out there. They are out here on Wednesday for an hour soaking in the stadium to see exactly everything they need to be prepared for, from the turf to the lights to the field goal post, everything you can imagine. They are out here 90 minutes beforehand, soaking in every second they could before this game, and the energy was off the charts between himself, his other coaches, and the players on the field. This Andrean 59er football team is ready to go.
Yeah, if there's someone who is quite familiar with what this experience is like, and I was fortunate enough to talk with head coach Chris Skinner of the Andrean 59ers, and yeah, like you said, they had to come here Wednesday. It's a long week. Monday is media day as well, so of course Coach Skinner and a couple of the Andrean 59ers had to come down here and spend some time in Circle City. And then Wednesday, an hour of practice, no more than an hour. So again, kind of get the kinks out, get here and really kind of, get in the moment, like you said, Zach. Get used to playing on a professional field, playing in a dome, more importantly as well. But Chris Skinner obviously has taken this trip as a player and been around the block as a head coach as well. Now on the other side for Brownstown Central, they're trying to make some history here tonight. They have a longtime head coach of their own with Reed May, 33 seasons at Brownstown Central, over 300 wins, 331 to be exact, to only 69 losses. But this is the first state finals appearance for the Braves in program history.
Yep, first semi-state championship this past week, first state appearance for him. 33 seasons, 4 regional championships, 15 sectional championships, 47 all-state players during that 33-year tenure. Mike, this team here that he brings, though, this is different. This is the best offense in the state on a point-per-game basis, averaging over 54.5 points per game, Mike. This is an explosive offense.
And although they put the points up on the board, they might not do it in an explosive offensive manner, at least in the way where we're maybe accustomed to nowadays with quarterbacks throwing the football all across the field. They do it through the wing T, Zach. They do it through a lot of runners, a quarterback, a couple slot backs as well, a fullback in the system, and they just pound the rock, and a lot of deception in an offense that I think you're a little bit more familiar with.
Yeah, when I was in high school at Gavitt, we ran the wing T under my coach, Rob Robinson. We ran the wing T, like you said, with the slot back, the wing backs, the fullback. They have 5 total rushers on the season, over 400 yards rushing. A couple slot backs, 80% of their total yards, give or take, comes from rushing the ball. This is a team, they don't have any mistake what their identity is. They know, Andrean knows exactly what they're going to do, and they're going to say, can you stop it?
You got the quarterback, Micah Sheffer, Trey Sweeney, Preston Garrison are some slot backs. Trevor Brannaman, the fullback, and Lyndon Lanier as well, a name to watch out for in the backfield. We'll set the scene here on this one. We'll take our first break, though. Here you are listening to the Class 2A Football State Finals. This is Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, my name is Mark Macknick. I'm the owner of Mark Macknick CPA firm in Highland, Indiana on Kennedy Avenue. I've been working with Region Sports for years now. Started working with Chris years ago, just on some special projects, advertising here and there. After a while, kind of increased the advertising mainly was doing it for the community involvement. It's such a great network and program they do with the high school sports. But as time went by, I started getting on there more frequently. And then the phone starts ringing, and I was getting calls all the time from people. Hey, I saw your ad on so-and-so football game. I saw your ad on a basketball game. And it's really helped my business. It's increased the volume. We're a tight community in Northwest Indiana, sports-wise, and just a lot of community involvement. So that's mainly why I got into it. Yeah, I remember watching one game. It was a basketball game, and I think there was a little bit of an altercation. And as the altercation was happening, my ad was right on the bottom, and someone typed in, "I wonder what Mark Machnick's thinking right now." And I was thinking, wow, this is awesome. It's really been a great feature for my business. It's the only advertising I do. I don't advertise anywhere else other than Region Sports. It's for the business, but mainly for the involvement with the community. I played high school baseball here in Highland. And ever since I've been advertising on Region Sports, a lot of my old coaches are now my clients. A lot of my old teammates come in here. My recommendation, if you're a business here in Northwest Indiana, I think Region Sports is, for your money, it's one of the best places that you can advertise. I mean, I can advertise on billboards. I could do anywhere I want to. And I choose Region Sports mainly because I get a lot of feedback. Especially on the high school level, a lot of the parents, if they can't make a game, they're watching it online. They're watching a replay, the grandparents. So it's done wonders for my business, and it's my go-to for advertising. It's the only spot I would advertise. So if you're a business owner in the area, really look into advertising on Region Sports. It's going to be well worth your money, and you'll make tenfold on what you're spending. Region Sports Network, they're the only game in town, but they're more than just a game.
You're listening to coverage of the Class 2A football state tournament. This is all built by Armor Construction for roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Call Armor Construction at 219-987-2023. My name is Mike Dewan. Alongside me is Zach Miller. Now time to present what will be our final Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. We'll call it the Saturday morning forecast, all made possible by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. As you take a look at the tail of the tape on the screen as well. But looking at the weather here in the Circle City, 31 degrees, feels like 19 degrees. No snow on the ground just yet. I think from where you guys are all tuning in up there in Northwest Indiana, I believe the snow has already kind of made its presence felt. But so far, so good here. But once again, Zach, we are in a dome, so what does this weather really matter? But nonetheless, big shout-out to our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Again, with the 24/7 emergency service, comfort isn't far away. Again, everybody up there in Northwest Indiana, stay safe, stay warm. I know the snow is, I think, already, again, like we said, made their presence felt well on the ground up there, and more to come. But
yep.
We're excited to be here.
Everybody be safe up there. And you know what? If you want nice to be safe, just sit down, get some hot cocoa, and watch and listen to the state championship call here on the Region Sports Network. I mean, I got no better plan than that.
You said it, Zach. Couldn't be tuning into what will be a better game as you see the tail of the tape on the screen. A couple key stats as well. And Andrean, a team that has been here before. A team that's trying to win their 4th state title in program history, while Brownstown Central obviously has put together quite the track record in this season, but really trying to make some history here tonight, Zach.
Yep, exactly. Look at the tail of the tape here. Two similar-sized schools, both being 2A, both Andrean looking at 409 enrollment to Brownstown's 440. Two defenses, you see the points allowed per game, Andrean with 12 and Brownstown with 11. The two defenses that are quite stingy, not allowing very many points. But then you look at the offense, however, Andrean puts up a nice 28.5, but Brownstown Central, they have the most potent offense on a points per game basis in the state, averaging 54.5 points per game, Mike, in a state best 43.71 margin of victory point differential on average.
So right then and there, Zach, we can get into maybe one of our first keys of the ball game, if you will, but you're familiar with running that wing T offense, what makes it effective. Now Andrean, I think you kind of look at the points in this, you look at the strength of this Andrean team, might be their defense. They give up around 12 points a ball game, while obviously that Adams Central squad, they're putting up points in historic numbers. What is the way to kind of stop an offense like that runs the football with a lot of deception, a lot of tough runs, again, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and maybe, you sometimes you have the explosive play every now and then as well.
If you're the Andrean 59er defense, you have to keep your eyes on your keys. They've been, like we said earlier, with the preparation coming into this game, there's no doubt that Coach Skinner and his coaching staff have had them prepared on what to look for on this defense, to what keys you need to read on your assignment. You need to stay disciplined and keep your eyes where they need to be to know that. And if you keep disciplined, it won't be as hard to defend if not. You have also with that the talent on the edge to prevent that, particularly for these slot backs going on the outside with Christian Gavin, who leads the team in tackles and tackles for loss with 97 and 16 respectively. Landon Murray as well, their other edge defender, leading the team with 5 sacks. That's really going to help on the outside to try and contain them from getting to the outside. And then you have a great linebacker like Ethan Rayno, 95 tackles on the inside to clean up everything in the inside.
Well said, Zach. We'll step aside here. You're listening to Game Night, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. For 26 years, Armor Construction has been beautifying homes across Northwest Indiana. From expert roofing and durable siding to eye-catching custom copper work, Armor Construction does it all with the highest quality and integrity. Serving Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties, trust the best exterior construction company in Northwest Indiana to protect your investment.
Ava, let's go.
Try it on.
The shortest distance between two people is a smile. That's why we're committed to fighting hunger in our communities until everyone has a reason to smile. Stratton Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Back here on the Region Sports Network, you're listening to coverage of the Class 2A football state championship between Andrean and Brownstown Central. A beautiful rendition of the national anthem. This is all built by Armor Construction, exterior remodeling experts. Give them a call today at 219-987-2023, and you could always check them out on the web at armorconstruction.net. As I believe we're taking a look at the tunnels here, Zach, as the teams will be introduced here very soon. If we could pull up the starting lineups, we'll start with the Andrean offense if we could. We talked about them a little bit, but a team that could put up points respectively. But the listed starting quarterback is Brady Ellis. You'll see a little bit of Dylan Gore as well. But an offensive line, Zach, now led by not the Wisconsin Badger, but now the future Indiana Hoosier, Ben Novak at the left guard position. But a group overall that is still fairly young. Ben Novak is that lone senior on that offensive line. Tyler Vo as well. Watch out for him out wide. A sophomore, but just a budding superstar for the Andrean 59ers.
An offense that is pretty young, Mike, but has really gotten better over the course of the season. You could tell they've gotten much more comfortable, even so in the playoffs, where they've started to learn the playbook a little better, especially getting to these latter months of the season. And now at the right time, the perfect time of the season here at the state championship, they've really come into form.
We'll take a look, Zach. We'll keep it on the Andrean side, if we will. We'll take a look at their defense. That is equally deserves a great amount of respect. One of the biggest impact pieces, the biggest transfers, if you will, kind of around the area. Christian Gavin, number 7, the former Lake Central Indian, has found his home with this squad. A star player, a senior, hoping to finish out his preps career with the bang.
Yep, like we said earlier, leads the team in both tackles and tackles for loss, also adding 3 sacks and a couple forced fumbles. Players like him, the other edge, Landon Murray, having 5 sacks on the team tops. Brady Ellis, as you mentioned, starting quarterback, leading the team with 5 interceptions as a corner. Mitchell Myers, outside linebacker, with 3. This is a team that likes to get takeaways and get the ball from the opposing team.
Ethan Reyna as well, one of the top middle linebackers in the area, a junior, not too far behind his counterpart Christian Gavin in tackles. Watch out for Javier McCoy as well, has made a couple big plays for this Andrean squad. Zach, we'll shift it over to what we have for Brownstown Central offensively. As a team that, again, likes to run that wing T where there's, guys all across the board that could, again, really kind of hurt you in a way. We talked about Trey Sweeney, Preston Garrison, Trevor Brannaman as well, and, of course, the quarterback, Sheffer, always will get the job done with his feet, as well as can do a job throwing the football.
Yep, 5 total rushers, over 400 yards rushing here on the season. Garrison leading with 1,376 rushing yards. Lyndon Larrier, another one of those slot backs, 598. Trey Sweeney, 553. And then their fullback, Trey Brannaman, with 417. Like you said earlier with this wing T, it's a system that is predicated on misdirection and trying to fool the defense and not knowing where the ball is going to go.
Watch out for Lyndon Lanier as well, 598 yards to his name, 11 touchdowns, an offense that scores, 54.8 points per game, which is the best mark in the state. And finally, the defense for the Braves here this evening, a team that offers a lot of different looks, and one we're going to be interesting to see as kind of how they get ready and face this Andrean offense. But a couple guys going both ways with some dogs, we could say, on that Brave defense as well. That complements their offense very nicely.
Yep, some guys to look out for. Their leading tackler, Owen Wishmeyer, who's over double the amount of tackles from second place on the team, also with 14 tackles for loss. The big guy to look out for in the middle, defensive lineman Isaac Hutchinson, going to Central Michigan to play defensive line, 24 tackles for loss in the year, 10 sacks. Also, Joe Roberts on the defensive line to look out for, gets in the backfield. And Evan Stahl, linebacker, Jack Pace with a couple picks on the year, and Caden Wishmeyer as well on the defensive line to look out for.
A team with 32 sacks up until this point, 118 tackles for loss. But talent all across the board, a lot of two-way players as well, Zach, because obviously we took the trip down the 5A road last night where we had a lot more depth. And these teams do have depth, of course, at the two-way level. But guys got to wear a couple more hats, obviously, when the school enrollment is in the 400s.
Yes, once you get to the 400s, you got to have guys with that more responsibility. Like you said, even at 5A, there's maybe 1 or 2 guys that are running both sides of the ball. But once you get to these lower levels of play, it is key that you have guys. I mean, look at Andrean, guys like Brady Ellis, who are both the starting quarterback and also your leading cover corner. You got to have guys contribute on both sides of the ball, and even special teams as well. Those
are the starting lineups for tonight's games as we take a look at both the tunnels, and the teams have kind of crept their way out, and we get our first look at the Andrean 59ers with their introduction video as they sent down 4 representatives, and of course Chris Skinner, as we will kind of tune into that and give a shout out to the 4 representatives for Andrean, as Brady Ellis, the quarterback and defensive back, was one of them. As we take a look as well, talking about Chris Skinner and what he has accomplished with this program, Rocco Allegretti, as we kind of try and do 2 things at once here, Zach. Rocco, again, another piece of the puzzle that was represented at the media day. But you take a look at Chris Skinner as well there, Zach, though. Quite the resume so far, and what's better than adding maybe a potential 2nd state title as a head coach.
If 2nd state title as a head coach, 3rd overall would be as part of Andrean. He was the Colts Coach of the Week here, week 9 of this season. He's had 6 sectional titles here in the past 7 years. Had 5 career regional titles also in the last 7 years. Of course, like you said, state champions in 2021, runner-up in 2022. An Andrean great already this early into his career, looking to add another state title to his resume.
Gavin Jones and Ben Novak are also the 2 representatives, other 2 representatives for the Andrean 59ers at the media day this past Monday. As we are nearing the end of this introduction video, yes, quite a career for, of course, Coach Skinner, and so much pride. An Andrean alum, has done it as a player, has seen some of the greats, knows what it takes, and wants to add another big piece to his resume, which is already impressive. As here come the Andrean 59ers.
Carrying a pair of flags, then both the Andrean Fighting 59er flag and the American flag. They are ready to go, Mike.
Christian Gavin with the Andrean flag, and Big Ben Novak with the American flag as Andrean is decked out in their all reds with the gold caps as always, as they are ready to start this Saturday of festivities here at the Lucas Oil Stadium with a chance at history, potentially their fourth state title and their first since 2021, but they will have to go up against the Brownstown Central Braves, who they're trying to make history as well, as now they're awaiting in the tunnel as their introduction video plays. Zach, as we're nearing kickoff here, any final thoughts, obviously, as we are itching closer to a team now, another opportunity in Week 15 here?
I'd say this is kind of referring back to last night's game, looking from the region perspective. This is kind of the inverse, where Maryville was a team that wasn't used to getting down to state, going against a team in New Pal that is used to it. Now, for the region perspective, this is an Andrean team who is used to getting down here a few times in the last few years, particularly under Coach Skinner, even having won it, compared to Brownstown, who has not been here so far. So I want to see if how it went last night, how it was a close game where New Pal pulled away at the end, leaning on that championship experience. If Andrean, if it's a close game like how it was yesterday, if they will be able to lean on that championship experience themselves.
Brownstown Central awaits in the other tunnel. Looks to me like they have their white jerseys on with black numbers. I believe that's red trim, and I believe the pants are black. The helmets might be black as well from our vantage point, as you hear the crowd erupts as the Braves will take the field. Brownstown Central, not too far from here, about an hour and a half. Southern part of the state, of course, in Jackson County. Led, of course, by the Rush heavy attack, and a head coach with over 300 wins under his belt. All he's done there at Brownstown Central has win, but has not made it to the big game yet. And a chance, another opportunity over there for this Brave squad.
To cap off an undefeated season, it would be storybook for him in his 33rd year here. Mike, if you thought there was any slight chance that this being the first game on a Saturday morning, that there might be a little dip in energy here, you would be mistaken. The energy is off the charts here on both sides for both Andrean and Brownstown Central thus far.
The captains now take the field. Brady Ellis, Rocco Allegretti, that is Gavin Jones, and that is Big Ben Novak. Out there for Andrean. Looks like Owen Wishmeyer, one of the captains. The quarterback, I believe that is Sheffer for Brownstown Central. And two others will lead these teams in the battle for the coin toss. Andrean standing hand in hand, all in a line, stretching from, we'll call it the 34-yard line to the other 24-yard line.
An intimidating look there from the 59er front, everyone linked in arms.
It looks like Brownstown Central has won the toss, and they will receive. From what we got from that, they want the ball first. We are ready to go as Andrean will kick this off here shortly. The teams gather up and get ready to go, and more importantly, kick off what is going to be a fun Saturday here. And a 2A game, again, with a proven Andrean team, a proven program, while Brownstown Central is trying to spoil the party on Broadway and the region.
Bringing the Broadway, like we said last night, the Broadway has come down to Indianapolis here, Mike. You can tell it in the crowd. A lot of people, I think there's been some carryover from some Maryville fans that have stayed the night to support their local team, where maybe they wouldn't root for them so much, particularly week one and in the regular season. Once you get down here to state playoffs, Mike, everyone from the area starts rooting for each other.
You said it, Zach, that we're doing just the same here. Any sort of love you have for certain schools, your previous schools that you went to, of course, during your day, all kind of goes out the window, as now we are one here. We are excited to be that outlet for you guys all state championship weekend, at least with our two games here on the Region Sports Network. Alongside, of course, this broadcast, we'll have plenty of content going all across the board. We'll be sure to give shout-outs to those on the field as well, providing updates, providing photos, providing videos, getting all of the great angles, while Zach Miller and I will talk shop up here about what is about to happen as Andrean will line up for the first quintel kickoff of the ball game, specializing in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. As Andrean will get ready to go, the kicker for the Niners is number 72, Ichiro Wachowski. The the freshman.
Mike, I'd venture to say here, we're not even at kickoff yet, and almost every fan in both stands is standing already.
Brock Dean is one of the two returners for Brownstown Central. But we are ready to go, Zach. Yes, the fans are out here. We are ready for some football. As this ball is kicked off, it will go to Dean on the far side of the field. Will be a reverse out of the gate and not going much further as Andrean covered that one quickly. Mitchell Myers on the tackle.
Mitchell Myers, he was not going to be fooled by that reverse. He didn't break off any course of there at all, stayed contained and just lit him up right at the 20-yard line.
Needs to be nearly telegraphed there from the jump. Mitchell Myers, a sure tackler, one of the starting safeties on this Andrean defense. As Myers also flying down. That's the thing about these two-way schools, Zach. Gotta play special teams as well. Most of these guys do. So, but now this Brownstown offense will take over in their unique look. As it's going to be a quarterback keeper for the first play of the ball game, and not much going there. That'll be Landon Murray in first on the tackle, followed by Jaden Lofe. Maybe pick up a 1.
Can't stress this enough. If you thought there was any energy that would need to be pumped in for the Andrean side at all, it is already there. These guys have been amped to go since 90 minutes before the kick.
Micah Sheffer was the ball carrier, the quarterback, 6'3", 195, 400 rushing yards to his name, 7 touchdowns there. One receiver to the far side, man in motion. As that'll go up the middle. That looks to be the fullback, number 12, Trevor Brannaman. Short pickup there, but sets up now a 3rd and manageable.
Yep, you figure if it gets a little hairy with the misdirection and they're not getting fooled as much, watch for them to give the ball to Brandman more than they usually would, as that's just the dive play that will be a little more consistent for them rather than the misdirection.
The senior fullback also over 400 yards. As Brownstown lines up in the wing tee. Going to be a direct snap once again to the fullback. It'll be a first down. Brannaman picks up the first 4 Seasons first down of the ball game. Similar play than what we just saw there. All brought to you by 4 Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. Visit them on the web at 4seasonsmechanical.com.
A nice head fake there, though, by Sheffer, where he faked that the ball went high on him from the snap, and there was just the ounce of misdirection needed that this offense relies on to get the defense off them a little bit for the first down run.
Zach, covering this offense is a cameraman's nightmare, if you will. A lot of deception. Not easy to follow. This time will be a quarterback keeper. Micah Sheffer as well. Andrean flying to the football. Maybe a pickup of 1 in on the tackle is Mitchell Myers, followed by a few other Niners.
Mitchell Myers already making his impact felt early with 2 big hits to start.
The quarterback in this offense as well has to have some great footwork, Zach. A lot of spinning, a lot of fakes. Obviously, Sheffer, we've seen a couple times on those quarterback keepers, faking the jet sweep, keeping himself.
They talk about it in passing game a lot, say in the NFL, with the footwork and the faking you have to do for the play action. It's even amplified more here in the single wing tee.
Man in motion. This time it will be the jet sweep to Preston Garrison over to the outside. Makes one man miss, but not much going after that. Tackle down by number 5, Javier McCoy. Did shake off a would-be tackler was Garrison, but we'll call it a gain of 3 to set up a 3rd and 6. Now ball is on the 37-yard line at the left hash.
This is where you want to have here. A little over 3rd and 5 for an offense like this on their own side of the field. This is where they do not want to be, Mike, where they have to be potentially in a passing down situation.
Get them off of schedule. One of the big keys to the game as well against a team like this that could, of course, run the football and put up points in a hurry. Now a 3rd and 6. Man is in motion. Sheffer's going to fake this one here. We'll throw it out to the flat who the man was in motion. That'll be Trey Sweeney, but not going anywhere after that. Javier McCoy once again brings him down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 2.
Javier McCoy has made a pair of plays back-to-back here of great open field tackles, preventing the runner from getting anywhere where they want to go, where if he didn't make the tackle, they would have a lot of room to run.
That's Trey Sweeney's 6th catch of the year, but going for -2 as Javier McCoy has had quite the postseason. Battled injuries kind of throughout the year. Was a big piece kind of in his freshman season. As now Brownstown will boot this one back as Brady Elish is deep. Kick is up and kick is away. A load of line driver. Elish will retrieve at the 30-yard line. Cuts back to the 40. Goes outside and gets out of bounds at about the 43-yard line of Andrean. So a good start for the defense. Only 1 first down picked up from Brownstown Central. And again, confidence there, Zach, from a defensive unit to stop a unit that's been very tough to stop.
But this is the unit, if there's any unit on this team that they're the most confident in for the Andrean 59ers, it would be their defense. They've leaned on it all season. We spoke earlier about their points per game, but it honestly is a little inflated than it should be because a lot of their points came up in garbage time when the game was already far settled and they had maybe some JV players in rather than their varsity unit. So the defense is even stronger than what it says on paper.
So now Andrean back in action. Ball's on the 42-yard line, the left hash here. To be a play fake. Brady Ellis in the ball game will find a man in the flat, does have him. That is caught there by, I believe we have number 6 there for Andrean as we'll take a look. That is Brody Lane getting in on the action. Good pickup there. We'll call it 7 now. Ball on the 49-yard line. Roll-out play there from Ellis. Got him in the flat.
Yep, that's get your quarterback in movement who had just come off from returning a punt and defending on the field. Use that athleticism, get him on the move, and get it to your big target in Brody Lane.
Andrean, a couple solid receivers all across the board. This time now will be direct snap to Brady Ellis over the left side. As tries to get the edge, he will. And he will be just about a yard beyond the line to gain. As Andrean, 2 plays, they'll move the sticks.
That was great execution from both sides there, but just incredible work from Ellis to get to that edge there, even though they set contain incredibly well there for Brownstown Central.
Now 4 seasons first down, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. Ball now on the 48-yard line of the Braves. 3 receivers are out to the far side with 1 receiver to the near side. Back behind Brady Ellis is Brady Stovall. The Brady bunch in the backfield, if you will.
I like that one. You got it before I could.
Not much of a bunch with 2 of them. But going to be a quarterback keeper for Ellis. Bounces to the outside to the 45. Throws a stiff arm. And gets out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Kind of that outside veer, if you will. And kept it himself. And another good pickup there for the senior quarterback.
He's feeling to start here, Mike. You can tell he's comfortable with the ball in his hands early. He was going off of Rashawn Johnson's block there, his left tackle. Felt the pressure there, put his hand on his back shoulder there, and just read that block to felt where the defender was going and went on the outside when he felt him going inside.
Pickup of 6. Ball on the 42-yard line of the Braves now. 7:38 and counting here in this opening frame. Ellis, empty backfield. A rollout right will be just over the outstretched arms. The intended receiver, Tyler Vo, on an outbreaking route past the sticks.
Yeah, it was good timing on that out. He threw it right at the perfect time where the ball was there right when he turned his head, just a little off the mark there in front of his outstretched arms.
Again, Brady Ellis will kind of see these quarterbacks rotate over time. Dylan Gores kind of put up more efficient numbers maybe as a passer, while Ellis obviously plays that defensive back position as well, but definitely more of the athlete where you might want to try and limit your senior quarterback to also be that ball hawk defensively. But now a 3rd and 4 here, Zach. 3 receivers out wide, also has an H-back and a back behind Brady Ellis. Ellis back to pass. Will throw to the solo receiver. That is Tyler Vo. Ball is deep and off the mark. But a flag does come in. It was a bang-bang play. Vo dove for the football. A little bit of hand fighting there with the Brave cornerback. But early indication this might be DPI.
That's one of the outcomes that could happen when you throw a ball like that in the go route. You have Kyle Trueblood down there defending one-on-one against Tyler Vo over 1,000 yards on the season. That's what can happen. If you can't guard that speed, you might have to foul him to prevent the score.
I believe heading in this one, Tyler Vo is the region's 2nd leading receiver. As, yes, it will be pass interference. You said it, Zach, on Kyle Trueblood. Is the man who had the penalty. Vo over the 1,000-yard mark, also 12 touchdowns, both leading the Andrean 59ers. What was a short season for him as well in his freshman year. And it's just blossomed in front of our eyes.
Over 50% of the team's receiving yards this year, Mike.
Not bad. It's now 3 receivers out wide and H-back. Now Javier McCoy in the backfield alongside Brady Ellis. It'll be a keeper by Ellis once again, and that time not much there. Similar kind of outside veer play, if you will, where Ellis tried to run it between the tackles. And that time the Braves are on that one. Can't pick up a 2.
Yep, I'll tell you what, he got a couple more yards than you would have expected. 72 defensive tackle came in the backfield, and he was able to put a spin move on him and get a couple yards more than he would have expected there, where he maybe would have get caught at the line of scrimmage. Get something out of nothing.
This is a 2nd 8. Ball is on the 25 of Brownstown Central. Andrean looking to put points up on the board. Ellis, a throwback screen, completes it to, that looks to be McCoy, but that was snuffed out there by the Braves. Really had one man to beat, but they were kind of in the same spot, McCoy and the tackler on that one. I believe that was number 34, Ethan Wheels.
Ethan Wheels, I believe he was on the end line there, defensive end, and he talking about reading your keys before this game and the keys to the game. He was very privy to that. He saw that there was slipping out there for the screen, peeled off of his blocker, was able to stay with him for a short gain.
McCoy, a tough one to take down, 6'1", 200 pounds. Hasn't had much of a role as a running back, but at least this year had a lot of in his freshman season. Now a blitz put on here. Ellis has to make a play, rolls out left, cannot go anywhere. Rep down by a couple Braves there, and on the tackle is number 31. That will be Owen Wishmeyer.
Leading tackler for the Braves defense here. They sent a blitz off the both edges there. Instant pressure, had to force Ellis to his outside, rolling left. He wasn't able to get rid of the ball. 4th and 11 here.
Kept quarterback contained there, and then Wishmeyer, you're just licking your chops. And now it sets up a weird play here. Yes, 4th and 11, ball is on the 28-yard line where looks like they might be going for it here on 4-down territory. 3 receivers out wide. Ellis will roll out to his right. Tries to find a man. Will chuck it. Ball is jarred, incomplete. Put it where it needed to be, but kind of in between a couple of Braves defenders. Looks like that pass was intended for, I believe that is number 18 down on the field, Stetson Sullivan, the 5'5 freshman.
Yep, and a pass coverage linebacker we were talking about, Evan Stahl, was the one who laid the hit there for the Braves defense. He could have made that catch there, had to turn around to try and receive it, but he laid the hit on him there to force the ball out.
They'll have a TV timeout on the field. We'll have a TV timeout up here in the booth. You're listening to Game Night, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Back here for game day in the region. This is the Class 2A football state final. Still 0-0 here, 5:28 to go as Brownstown Central now takes over on a turnover on downs at their own 28-yard line. As you see a photo, we'll pull up of the Andrean 59ers who punched their ticket last Friday, avenging their last season's loss against Adams Central, the Flying Jets, the top-ranked team in the state. Andrean coming in at 4 and Brownstown Central at the 2 spot.
Yep, it was a team that they had lost to the previous year, who had won a couple of state championships in a row, Mike. It was a rainy, muddy game, and they were well prepared for it with their defense.
But now Brownstown Central will take over. Ball again on the 28-yard line on the right hash. This time will be a handoff, actually a quarterback keeper from Micah Sheffer, and nothing there for Andrean. Once again, doing a great job. Christian Gavin in on the tackle, as well as a couple others.
Gavin and a few others are going, and that's what it takes to stop an offense like with the misdirection. Not just reading your keys, but you got to be able to get them down to the ground. And how do you do that? You have bodies flying to the ball. It doesn't take just one man. You got to have more.
Vinny Zupan as well, the sophomore linebacker, was actually the first one on the hit. 11 tackles for loss, 68 tackles on the year, but that run going for nothing. Now a 2nd and 10 here, ball in the middle of the field. This time will be a reverse play to number 1. This is Preston Garrison over the left side, over to the 30, throws a stiff arm. We'll say a pickup of 3 or 4. Ethan Reyna there on the tackle.
Ethan Reyna on the tackle, but I also want to give credit to Mitchell Myers again here. He didn't make the play with the tackle, but he was getting blocked on the outside by the receiver there, and he was able to press the blocker inside to force the runner inside and toward Reyna to prevent him from getting extra yardage.
Bring the runner back to where all your friends are. And that time it was in the case of Ethan Reyna, who had 95 tackles to his name, 7 tackles for loss, was a little bit banged up, entering kind of the tournament, if you will, but will be a star potentially on more Saturdays to come as well. Might have had some early motion. They're going to be a similar play here. Reverse to Preston Garrison. Another big pickup. But I believe he will be close to the line to gain. It was a 3rd and 6. And they will give him the first down. Similar reverse play there, Zach. Double reverse, I guess, if you will. Preston Garrison, the leading rusher for this squad, picks up a big 6-yard gain on 3rd and 6.
Double reverse play. You can see why they get him the ball so much. He is shifty. He's put on a couple of spin moves in that play to make some guys miss. He's fun to watch.
I thought Garrison may have left a little bit early, but I believe they might have missed that down on the field. But nonetheless, the Four Seasons first down now. This time a flag does come in on the direct snap to Brannaman. Yes, did have a lane to run, but early indication is this will back, and yes, it will. It will back the Braves up 5 yards for a false start.
Sounds like you called that one, and Mike's calling for the penalty the previous play, and they call one right there on the false start.
You know, they were due. They were due for one. Obviously, they would have taken it on the 3rd and 6, but nonetheless, penalties, I think, alone here, Zach, for a Brownstown offense. When you run the football that much, penalties are such a killer.
You cannot get behind the chains in an offense like this. You're so predicated on getting those 3 or 4 to 5, 6 yards per rush.
Brownstown still in that single wing tee. Going to be an outside handoff here that'll be Trey Sweeney over the right side. Decent pickup there, then wrangled down by the sophomore safety, Bruce Morehouse. We'll call it a pickup, getting those penalty yards back. Gain of 5.
Yes, great play by Morehouse there, though, to follow with the ball, flow with the offense, just match him all the way as he's running through that misdirection, meet him right there for a gain of 5.
Believe it or not, the helmets of Brownstown, they are black, but a lot of white stars on the helmet. Once again, helmet stickers for good plays, and a lot of good plays for this offense that averages 54 points a game. Now an outside handoff to Preston Garrison. Andrean all over that one once again. Mitchell Myers making his presence felt early in this one. I think about no gain there for Preston Garrison.
No gain once again. You're seeing a lot of the similar names show up here. Him and Morehouse also on the play there. You're depending on those outside linebacker safeties to flow with this misdirection, those different slot backs, to meet them everywhere they're going on the offense. Great way to flow there.
Brownstown's ball again. They have the ball on the 38-yard line now. A 3rd and 10. They're going to throw this one out to the flat. We'll try and pick up a little bit something, but behind the sticks, Andrean just has them where they want them. As Preston Garrison might have got back to the line of scrimmage. If that. Just a swing pass there, Zach, trying to get a couple yards back. They're going to punt this one right back to the Niners.
Wasn't going. That's what we said earlier in this drive. You cannot get that penalty, that false start, if you're Brownstown Central. You don't ever want to get penalties, Mike, but when you run an offense like this with the single wing tee, you definitely cannot get behind the chains for how you play the game.
Rocco Allegretti got out to that one as Brownstown kind of interesting formation where they kind of line up in their usual offense on 4th downs, and then they kind of shift back to a punt formation. This punt will go over the head of Brady Elsh, take a little bit of a hop, and will be down at, we'll call it the 16-yard line.
Second time they've done that on their punts, though, Mike. It's really their entire game plan, it feels like, from Coach Reed May, is to try and get Andrean. Always keep your mind guessing. You know, they never want you to have a break mentally, not just physically, but mentally. They always want you thinking about what they're doing.
I believe that punt was from Lyndon Lanier of Brownstown Central, as we will take a quick 30-second break here, Zach. You guys are all listening to Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. For 26 years, Armor Construction has been beautifying homes across Northwest Indiana. From expert roofing and durable siding to eye-catching custom copper work, Armor Construction does it all with the highest quality and integrity. Serving Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties, trust the best exterior construction company in Northwest Indiana to protect your investment. Family owned and operated Rearix Heating and Cooling in Maryville. Proud to support high school football. Again, got to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors who have made this season and especially made today possible. Burke Costanza and Carberry as well, and a couple other guys to thank over throughout the course of this broadcast. But allows us to once again do what we do. Of course, the viewers are, you guys, of course, are very important to us as well. But especially all of local businesses that want to get their name out there. And feel free if you want to kind of keep things rolling come the winter season, feel free to hit us up online. I believe we got a number as well on one of our banners.
219-588-1984 to hit our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, for some advertising. There's no better way to put your business out there than promoting with us here at Region Sports, not just because you're able to put your business out there in front of thousands of viewers, but also for what you're advertising for. You're putting yourself into the community. No better, no more organic place for community advertising than high school sports.
Big shout out to Robert Rockwell of Edward Jones Financial Advisor. You remember that number quick, Zach? Seen that banner a couple times?
I think a couple times. I think I see it in my sleep, too. Be on my deathbed and I'll have that number out first.
Attention to detail as well. Get undercoated today at 219-799-COAT. Big shout out to those guys as well as, again, all of everybody that has made this football season and really just get this, what has been a fun season of sports, a fun year of sports in 2025 here for us. Andrean will take over now. Ball's on the 17-yard line. First and 10 will be an inside handoff for the first carry for Brady Stovall. Keeps churning his legs. A pickup or 5 or 6 yards for the talented tailback.
He was following his 310-pound guard, Magnus Severson, there. He was incredible blocking him 7 yards up to the field, just following right behind him through that hole.
One of the coolest names around as well.
I don't know if I like the first or the last name better.
Now a 2nd and 5. We'll throw this one out wide. Makes a man miss is Tyler Vo and will pick up the first down. A flag does come in on the play, as it was kind of one of those, maybe you have a read outside there, Zach, where you could throw it out wide, extension of the run game, if you will. It requires your receivers to block. I think that's the call on the field.
Yeah, and it was a bit of holding, I want to say, down the field, though, by number 17, Mark Grubbs. It was a little play, though, like you said, inside-outside. He didn't know. He was trying to keep him from getting to the outside, held a little too long there.
And so it'll turn what would have probably been a first down or 3rd and short. So it looks like holding will be the call here. Yes, it will. So Andrean will back things up a little bit here. So it will be, we'll call it a 4-yard loss. It was down the field, but yeah, you saw the replay there from the Champions Network. It got him around the collar. And we'll set up a 2nd and 9 ball on the 18-yard line now with approaching a minute to go here in this opening frame, still 0-0. This time Ellis is back to pass. Actually, that is Dylan Gorn, puts it on the money to his sophomore receiver. A connection that has been building over time. That time Tyler Vo moving the sticks.
Tyler Vo, it's a name we've been calling early here for this Andrean offense. A great little 8-yard right at the sticks curl route right in the middle of that defense. They were playing man there and they were not ready. He's got a little bit of space there. First down, 59ers.
So Dylan Gore, the sophomore classmate, is in the ball game now. 3 receivers to our near side, 1 receiver out to the far side. That looks to be Brady Stovall. Back behind the sophomore quarterback Dylan Gore, 853 passing yards to his name entering this game. 8 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. We'll throw it out wide to Tyler Vo. Tries to play the numbers game, bounces back inside, but then taken down after a short gain of 3.
They're a little more prepared there for that wide receiver screen, getting Vo on the outside. Some good blocking on the outside perimeter, but scooted up inside, and the Braves defense is ready for him there.
Now with Andrean does not have to run a play here. I'm not sure if they will. As the clock hits 10, and I believe that will do it here for the first quarter. 0-0 for you soccer fans out there. No score here in the first quarter of this Class 2A football state championship. We'll be back here between Andrean and Brownstown Central. You're listening to Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Back here, this is Game Day, built by Armor Construction. When it's time to armor up, call Northern Indiana's top team, Armor Construction, for all of your exterior remodeling needs. For more information, visit armorconstruction.net. This is the Class 2A football state finals. Still nothing between Andrean and Brownstown Central, as you see on the scoreboard ticker. Zach, a stalemate thus far between these two squads. And now Andrean with the football on a 2nd and 9, balls on their 29-yard line. What's your breakdown of the first quarter?
I'd say definitely it is for Brownstown Central. I don't know if they've gone against a defense up to this point of the season as strong as Andrean's. While similarly for Andrean, I don't know if they've faced a defense that's been able to stop them from getting outside the numbers as much as they want to up to this point. It's been a battle of defenses thus far. And for Brownstown Central, they've been a little behind the chains more than they want to, both from Andrean defensive execution and some penalties to get them some bad starts on the drive. While for Andrean, it's really been a trying to mixture of the pass game and the run game, and Brownstown's just been there. They've been in the spots that they want. They've been very disciplined to their keys, reading the Andrean offense, leading to a 0-0 score after one.
Now Andrean trying to follow suit of what happened in 2021, Zach, as we have that photo somewhere in our system. We could pull that one up. And the last time this Andrean program has won the big game, they beat Evansville Mater Dei 21-9 in 2021. Made it back in 2022, took on the same squad and lost 20-10. Big piece of that puzzle. Someone who's playing tonight for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Drake Bowen, one of the top Andrean football players maybe ever, in a long list of some solid Andrean players, if you will.
Yep, and a good pipeline of going from Andrean to the Irish, filling that legacy.
Wearing that gold helmet now, a 2nd and 9 to start this second quarter, and a ball that is almost wrangled in, but thrown a little bit off the mark. Intended receiver was Stetson Sullivan, as Dylan Gore is still in the ball game as the predominant passer for this Andrean offense.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a mistiming there, miscommunication. He threw the ball there, and it looks like Stetson, he wasn't exactly ready for the ball. He turned around in time, but the hands weren't ready to catch it.
Sullivan's had quite the freshman season. Again, over 200 yards to his name, 25 catches, and getting some state finals action. But now at 3rd and 9, 4 receivers are out wide, plus an H-back in the game, as looks like the aforementioned Sullivan was in motion. 2 receivers on the far side, 2 receivers on the near side. And the quarterback is Dylan Gore, who is back to pass here. Relatively clean pocket. Does have a man in his face. Will throw it to the far side. Jump ball, and it's picked off. Good play there from Brownstown Central. The defensive back jumped that route. Came in, flew in. That was Kyle Trueblood, the second pick of the year.
Yep, they were running a wheel route at the top of the screen there. Kyle Trueblood had a great play there. Started from the middle of the field, was reading Gore's eyes all the way, came over from the middle, went and picked it off in double coverage right at the sideline, tiptoe catch to get the ball there on their own 40-yard line.
Pass was intended for Tyler Vo, as now the Braves will take over on their own 40-yard line. The first big swing of this ball game, first takeaway of the ball game for the Braves. Now a quarterback keeper by Sheffer, as tries to get to the outside, maybe picks up 2, but brought down by a trio of Niners.
Yep, tried to do a misdirection there, faked the sweep. McCoy there playing contained, did not let him get to the outside, was able to drag him down for a short gain.
Yeah, Andrean has done a great job on the quarterback counter, quarterback keeper, if you will, in this single wing T offense. A lot of deception, a lot of moving parts, and Sheffer not really able to get things going. Brody Lane also in on the stop. There's now a 2nd and 8 ball on the 42-yard line for the Braves. Going to be a double reverse once again, this time Preston Garrison up the middle. And maybe got back to the line again, maybe a line of scrimmage. I think he picked up 1, we'll call it. But in between the tackles, Andrean has been very, very stout here so far, Zach.
Not much going inside the tackles. Any success that they have been able to find in the run game is when they're getting those reverses and sweeps to the outside tackle. But even then, Mike, I feel the likes of McCoy and Gavin, they've been able to set that contain pretty well to handle this running offense.
Ball is smack in the middle of the field. On their own 43-yard line is Brownstown Central. 3rd and 7. Sheffer is back to pass. Will keep it himself. Maybe picks up 3. A quarterback draw designed or not. Ethan Reyna in on the stop, as well as another 59er. And after the takeaway, Potentially a 3-and-out for this Braves offense.
Yep, and it was an early pressure by linebacker Jaden Lofay. He forced the interior pressure, making Sheffer have to run up in the pocket, only get a couple yards on the scramble.
And as we've seen, the Braves will kind of line up in their typical offense and shift their way back to what looks to be a punt, but before then, I believe we got a flag on the field here, Zach, and it will be on the Braves, so it'll back them up 5 yards here.
Back them up 5 yards, see if that extra 5 yards can help in Andrean's field position. You know, in the first couple punts here for Brownstown Central, they've had a few line drivers. They're not kicking the ball extremely far on these punts. See if they can get a good return here.
And back deep, the return man has typically been Brady Ellish. Part-time quarterbacks and kind of more the full-time cornerback, leading this team with 5 interceptions, as the punter for the Braves will be Micah Sheffer. The quarterback as well actually looks to pass, will throw to the right side, single coverage, jump ball, it's caught. What a play. Just throws a jump ball up the seam and wrangled in by number 6. That's Kyle Trueblood using his hands once again after that pick on the drive before, Zach. That time goes up the seam. Hicks with a big pickup there for Brownstown Central.
Thrower took a big hit there, just threw a dot right over. Myers was covering Trueblood there, but wasn't able to turn his back, just kept his hands up. It required a perfect pass to get that ball in there, and that's exactly what was delivered.
Ball now is on the 36-yard line of Andrean now. It's just north of 9 minutes to go. The biggest play of the ball game, both coming from number 6 in white. Now a man in motion, going to be what looked to be a quarterback keeper until a flag has interrupted the play. This might be on Brownstown again. And it will. False start.
Yep, that's going to be their 4th penalty of the game thus far, all 4 of them being pre-snap procedural penalties, Mike. Killer for an offense like this, as we stated, where you do not want to get behind the chains and have these 1st and 15, 1st and 20, where you got to make up these plays and pass situations where you're not really comfortable passing the ball.
Nonetheless, that was a big catch there by Trueblood, a Four Seasons first down presented by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. Now 1st and 15, ball on the 41-yard line of Andrean inside. That'll be a direct snap to Trevor Branneman. And again, in between the tackles, not much going against this Andrean front. Gain of 2.
Nothing going. You'd like to think it'd be easy for us to say which tacklers are getting the tackles on these interior runs, but it'd be easier to say that's everybody on the Andrean 59er defense. Everyone, just bodies jumping in there, forcing stops on the interior. Nothing going inside for the Braves.
First one there is Landon Murray, who has been subbed off the field. Andrean kind of shuffling through some bodies, hoping it's nothing too serious. Now another quarterback keeper for Sheffer. And nothing once again. Andrean is bottling up this senior quarterback. Rocco Allegretti's in the pile, as well as a few others. We got number 60 for the Andrean 59ers. That is Miguel Rivera, the senior lineman. Mitchell Myers as well.
Mitchell Myers, Allegretti, Rivera. I mean, we're naming names. It feels like over half the defense, involved in these plays here with these run plays inside.
And a set of downs that started with the penalty. Now a 3rd and 12 for this Brave offense on Andrean's 38-yard line. Going to be a sweep to the left side. Not much going there. The corner's tackle, and guess who, Zach? It's Myers. Loss of 2.
Mitchell Myers, great play right there, was getting blocked by Branneman, was able to peel off that block, go into the outside with that sweep, and get him 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Great play getting off that block.
Preston Garrison on the carry there. The sweep to the left side, and like you said, Myers sheds a block, makes a tackle, and more importantly now sets up a 4th and 14. As Brownstown will line up in their typical offense. They will, a pooch punt there for, I believe it will go out of bounds, or it will be a touchback. That had me there. They had a man in motion, Zach, like they were going to run a play. And then the athlete that Micah Sheffer is kind of did a pirouette, kicked it with his right foot, and put it almost in a coffin corner. But we'll be a touchback, and Andrean will take over on the 20.
That's the ability you have when you can have a quarterback that can punt the ball like that, Mike, where you can blend the look between the passing the ball and going for it, and then quickly doing a little turnaround fake punt that almost turned to a coffin corner inside the 5.
All right, we'll take a 30-second break as they're taking a break down here on the field. You're listening to coverage of the Class 2A Football State Championship. This is Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Ava, let's go.
Try it on.
The shortest distance between two people is a smile. That's why we're committed to fighting hunger in our communities. Until everyone has a reason to smile. Strack and Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Back here reporting live from the Luke. Mike Dewan alongside me is Zach Miller. This is the Class 2A Football State Championship. Still nothing. As Andrean takes over, Brownstown had a couple big swings on their last drive. They got the big takeaway from the hands of Kyle Trueblood. Then on a 4th and long, a fake punt as the quarterback Sheffer threw it to Trueblood once again, got in Andrean territory. The Andrean defense stood tall. Now they'll take over on their own 20.
Kyle Trueblood with a pair of big plays there to try and get the Braves on the board, keep the momentum rolling for them, but nothing is getting to stop this interior front, really the entire defense or this run defense for this Fighting 59ers defense, Mike. Whether it's inside, outside, it's multiple men to the ball. Ferocious defense here for everyone involved.
Now back to it. 4 receivers are out wide, 3 to the near side, 1 to the far side. And back in at quarterback is Brady Ellis. To the left of him is Javier McCoy. Ellis, a direct snap here. And taken down behind the line is Owen Wishmeyer, the star linebacker for this Brave squad. We'll call it a loss of 1.
Yep, that's good. He has been their leading tackler by over double to our count, looking at the stats before this game, and you can see why. He feels where the ball is going before it's even snapped. You know, he can kind of sense that. And you can see on that play there, he was already somewhat moving to where Ellis was going to be, and he's moving step for step with him wherever he goes.
Yeah, we watched that replay here on the video board, and someone was doing their homework. He met Ellis in the hole, who did get back to the line of scrimmage. Now going to be an inside handoff to McCoy, and once again brought down by Owen Wishmeyer, doing his homework, if you will.
Do we have to say it again? It's just repeat what we just said for the last play. Taking a few steps to where before the play is even snapped, he knows exactly where the ball is going to go. Second play in a row where he meets at the line of scrimmage or beforehand.
He is quick, 6 foot, 180 pounds, over the century mark in season tackles. And now his 14th tackle for loss. Now setting up a 3rd and 12. Ball is on Andrean's 18-yard line with under 6 to go here in the first half. As Brady Ellis will look to the sideline. 4 receivers out wide, 2 per side with an H-back to his right. As the snap is away, Ellis is back to pass. Looks to the left side, has a man. It is caught, and it will be a first down for Tyler Vo. A route that was kind of an outbreaking route just before the line to gain. Made a man miss, picked up the first down. A sophomore to sophomore. Vo, the sophomore, moves the sticks.
He did a little bit of a mix there between an out and then stopped and curled in waiting for the ball. Great way to make the guy miss at the end. They're stopped right at the sticks. That's the second time they've gone to that route on a 3rd down here, Mike.
The sophomore connection is Gore to Vo, but this time it's Brady Ellis in the ball game as trips to the near side. Will throw it to the Tyler Vo once again and brought down on a big loss there. Number 15, Evan Stahl, in on that one.
Evan Stahl, he was waiting on that one. Just a little bubble screen out to the right side. A little high for Vo, had to make him adjust for the ball in the air. And by the time he turned around, Stahl was waiting for him, putting him to the turf.
This defense could fly to the football and really makes their plays known, even on the perimeter, as we've seen Andrean try to throw out there to Tyler Vo. But that time, Stahl picks up his 10th tackle for loss in on the season. The senior outside backer is now a 2nd and 14 of 4:30 and counting to go here in the first half. Ball is on Andrean's 30 as they're trying to strike first. Ellis is back to pass. Will look right. Will complete it to the flat. That is Brody Lane, who picks up a short gain and then knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So a pickup of 3, but now a 3rd and 11 once again. A big 3rd down. We've seen Andrean has already completed one already on this drive.
I'll make a wild guess here to see who they're going to be looking to throw the ball to here on the 3rd and long. The same guy they've looked at for the first couple, Tyler Vo here on the outside, top of the screen.
He was the solo receiver at the top of the screen. That was until Brownstown Central has burned their first timeout of the half. We'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to coverage of the Class 2A Football State Tournament. This is Game Night, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Exterior remodeling experts, give Armor Construction a call today at 219-987-2023. And you could always check them out on the web at armorconstruction.net. Mike DeWan, Zach Miller up here in the broadcast booth. A lot of RSN personnel all across the field. Some videographers. We got to give a shout out to Javi Escoval, Chris Backus, our man Skibbs, Drake Horn, Brendan Miller, executive producer, is here as well. Chris Ramirez, our operations manager, Rich Castillo, everybody. Kind of taking this. It's been a fun series of 2 days here, Zach, with, of course, Maryville playing last night, and obviously Andrean right in front of us here in a 0-0 ball game.
Yep, when Broadway comes to Indianapolis, the Region Sports comes to follow. It's been a fun time here, both our past Friday here, getting all the coverage we were able to do, and then today starting with this Andrean football game. It's been really fun here, Mike, and then to start with this game, through 16 minutes, Mike, it's been a slugfest here.
Yeah, it's been teams that simply, it's who was going to give. And we've seen a little bit of solid plays, more so defensively, like you said. Well, the biggest play of the night has really kind of come from Brownstown Central on a fake punt. But since then, the Andrean defense stood tall. And now, more importantly, for those counting at home, Andrean does get the ball to start the second half.
Yep, and in a game like this, plays like that with Young Button, 3rd and 11s like this, where the offense and the long plays are few and far between, these mean just much more.
Brady Ellish is the quarterback in the ballgame. 2 receivers to the far side with the solo receiver to the near side. Then H-back to his left. Ellish will roll out left and turn his hips and throw down the field. He has a man. Guess who? Tyler Vo. 10-5 touchdown.
You can see exactly where Brady Ellish is in his most comfortable position there when he is rolling to the left.
We do have a flag on the field back where the quarterback threw it, and this one is coming back. As you hear the eruption from Brownstown Central, as it was a play where Ellis rolled out left, had to flip his hips, and the call is holding.
Coach Skinner not particularly happy about it. You could hear the adulation from the side of Brownstown Central, and then the jeers from Andrean not liking the call. But it's going to bring them back on a play that we were just talking about on 3rd and 11, where plays like this at 3rd and 11 where the offense has not been going for either side, they're just as much more important when they're not happening. And then it's brutal to have that come back to you on a play like that, where the crowd goes crazy and then it turns into that.
The hold is on Andrean, as we'll probably take a look at the replay here shortly. And what would have been a 67-yard touchdown is now negated by penalty. I believe they got the end man on the line of scrimmage, which we believe that was on Rocco Allegretti. As we see the replay there as well, Chris Skinner has his hands up. That was the replay. I don't know if I saw much there, Zach. But now a 3rd and long for Andrean. Ellis will now just tuck it and run. Picks up the ball is on the ground. It is recovered by Brownstown Central and is picked up to the 20, to the 15. And things have gone from bad to worse as a quarterback draw for Ellis and looked to nearly be down, but the ball popped out, and it was recovered by Evan Stahl of Brownstown Central. Returns it all the way back to the Andrean 16-yard line.
Yep, was looking for his first 2 reads, didn't see it, scrambled up in the pocket, and a pair of brave defenders knocked the ball out for Evan Stahl to pick it up and run for about 15, 20 yards to get inside the Andrean 59er red zone. Just a difference of 2 plays, Mike. One play where you see just the adulation from the Andrean side, turning into despair after a turnover. How quickly it can change.
That ball was knocked out there, so it is certainly confirmed. And now Brownstown Central will take over on the 16-yard line, trying to strike first. Now Sheffer is back to pass, rolls out to his left, just gets the ball away. Don't know if there was much in the area, as the referees will talk this one over, just trying to avoid anything there. And I do not see a flag on the field, as Sheffer was hurried out of that one and just had to get rid of the ball.
And the Andrean faithful does not like the lack of a call there. You could hear the boos. They had Christian Gavin running from his backside. He was just trying to run as fast as he can to get away from him. Barely gets the ball out right as he hits him. They do not like the call.
That was almost close to a fumble, too, but his arm was going forward. Like you said, Gavin was chasing him down. But now a 2nd and 10, 3:50 to go here in this first half. Ball is on the 16-yard line on the right hash of Andrean, as Brownstown is looking to potentially strike first here in this Class 2A state final. Taken over after their second takeaway of the ball game. A 67-yard touchdown was taken off the board for Tyler Vo. The play after, Brady Ellis a draw. Ball is punched out, and Brownstown takes over. Now a quarterback pass once again thrown over the intended receiver. Andrean was in the backfield once again, hurrying that throw. The intended receiver for that one was the fullback, Trevor Branneman.
Yep, and then Ethan Reyna, instant pressure in the interior. That's the fastest place to get pressure on a quarterback, is up the middle. Reyna blitzed inside, got instant pressure on him, had to make him throw the ball away quicker than he wanted to.
Reyna 2 sacks to his name, nearly got a third, but now a 3rd and 10 as this Andrean defense trying to stand tall once again after a giveaway. So going to be 3 straight passes for Brownstown. We'll throw it to the end zone. That is intercepted. Oh, they say he's incomplete. It was in the back corner of the end zone, and he could not get a foot in. As it was thrown by the sideline, kind of a jump ball, just get it out of harm's way, and almost resulted in an Andrean takeaway. As we take a look at the replay, and that's a great call by the referee. As that is Mac Custy, and what would have been an interception, but his left foot just was out of bounds.
Oh, just out of bounds there, Mike. Would have been a huge play. You could see with the white cleats trying to maybe hide it there, but yeah, just barely getting the front big toe or so outside for the incompletion.
And now from the right hash, here is the kick. It is up, and it is no good, as Andrean gets off the field on a 33-yard attempt. The kick is missed.
Wow, misses the kick. You don't get any points from being within the Andrean red zone there. And I'll tell you what, incredible stand by the Andrean defense. But if I'm a Brownstown Central fan on the sideline, I'm thinking, why do we run 3 pass plays in a row there for the offense, where we're known for running the ball so much, we get the momentum, and you do 3 pass plays in a row.
Maybe you wouldn't mind one there, Zach. Try and get that kind of kill shot play, keep something in your back pocket. But Andrean was all over that one, and they kind of, obviously, when you get to kind of the 3rd and 10, you kind of know what's going to happen. But Andrean stands tall once again, although Brownstown Central has forced 2 takeaways and gotten in enemy territory kind of as a result of both of them. 0 points to show for it, as the missed kick there may loom large. That was a 33-yard attempt. I believe he missed that one left.
Yeah, missed that one left. There's a little bit you could see it was wobbling in the air. And I'd say going back to just the passing, I mean, they were trying to catch Andrean off guard. And with a team that runs the ball 80% of the time, you'd maybe think that Andrean would be caught off guard by them passing the ball, right? But they, as we said earlier, the preparation for this Andrean team is off the charts. They were not going to get caught off guard by that. They are completely prepared for it, and it showed where they forced few incompletions in a row, leading to the missed kick.
That was Nathaniel Conyer with the kick, who coming into this game was 6 for 9 on field goals, had of course, a lot of reps with how much they score points. 92 of 95 on PATs. Longest of the year was 41 yards, but now drops his clip to 6 of 10 on that missed 33-yard attempt, as now Andrean will take over. Ball on the 20 with 3:37 to go here in this first half.
Yep, see if you're Andrean here with 3.5 minutes left, if you can get a drive going here. They've been looking for Vo particularly, right? They would have had that big play if it weren't taken back by their penalty but see if you can get a drive here going, 3.5 minutes, definitely got to have a little bit of hurry up, but you're not in the complete rush to where you have to do hurry up every time.
Dylan Gore now back in the ball game. His previous drive was that interception on the pass intended for Tyler Vo. As now Andrean will have two receivers to the near side, but bring in a tight look, as now that looks to be Javier McCoy on the ball carry. And a good pickup there. We'll call it 8 for the sophomore tailback.
Great patience there by McCoy, just following his blockers, keeping the hand on the back there, following to see where they're going to go, and then following them all the way for an 8-yard gain.
Ethan Rana leading the way as well, kind of a piece they've used as a running back, but also with his strength, they could kind of put him in that H-back / tight end role as they're doing here right now. As he is lined up on the right side in the H-back role, also a tight end in the ballgame. I believe that's Rocco Allegretti. And two receivers to the near side. As Gore pump fakes, will throw it deep to the right side. That will be caught. Gavin Jones, a big pickup there. Gets into enemy territory. The pump and go had Jones put it right on the money outside of the numbers. And Andrean now has the ball. We'll put it on the 34-yard line of the Braves.
Pump and go, great way to sell it there. Had the defensive back look away just enough to get Jones some space on up the right seam for a big gain.
Now Andrean uses a bit of tempo here. This will be an inside handoff to Javier McCoy again. That time the Braves do a good job of holding him to maybe a yard, if that. But Gavin Jones had quite the postseason. Has been a big piece on the special teams department. Obviously one of those 4 representatives that Andrean sent down for the media day. Has 191 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns entering this game. Now well over the 200 mark. It's now ball on the 33-yard line with over 2 minutes to go. 2nd and 9 on the right hash. 3 receivers to the far side. It's now an empty backfield for the sophomore quarterback Dylan Gore. As Gore will roll out to the left side. Flips his hips, tries to throw it, throws it out of harm's way. This ball will be thrown and bounces nearly in the first row.
Yep, number 29 there for the Braves defense. Grayson Cassidy was able to get the instant pressure there. You see when Andrean, they really like to do these rollouts to cut the field in half and make the reads a lot easier for both Gore
and Ellis?
Yeah, Gore and Ellis, yes, both cut the field in half to make the reads easy, but you see there they had a little more success in the first quarter of this game doing those. The Braves defense responding, adjusting, setting some pressure to that side where they anticipate the rollout to force a throwaway.
Now a $154 here in this first half. 2 receivers near side, 2 receivers far side as Gore is back to pass here. Clean pocket, has plenty of time to throw, but steps up in the pocket, throws across the middle. Pass is complete to Gavin Jones inside the 15-yard line. At the 11, brought down right away. It'll move the sticks for the Niners.
Run that crossing route, had 2 guys running open over the middle with those crossing routes, was taking a hit as he stepped up in the pocket, took a hit as he threw the ball, delivered a strike to Jones for the first down at the 10-yard line.
4 Seasons first down. Visit them on the web at 4seasonsmechanical.com. Now a jumbo look set here for Andrean. No receivers out wide. Going to be a direct snap here to Brady Ellis. Flag does come in before the play really begins. Ellis not going much further, and it looks like it'll be on Andrean on this new set of downs.
Yep, false start called from both sides. Both officials throwing their flags, getting a false start there. Back them up.
And they will do just that. Yeah, it seems like we've seen a couple of these drives, Zach, where things go well, and then there's kind of one play, one penalty, one lapse that really kind of sets these things back. As now it'll be a 1st and 15 with ball on the 16-yard line. I believe we will have a
timeout from Andrean here.
We have a TV timeout actually here, Zach. So we'll take a minute break here on the Region Sports Network. You're listening to Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Back here at the Luke. It's Mike Dewan here with Zach Miller for live audio coverage of the Class 2A football state finals. Still 0-0. TV timeout was just taken here as now Andrean has the ball on a 2nd and 11. Ball is on the 12-yard line of Brownstown Central. Andrean a chance, Zach, to get on the board here and potentially maybe a little bit of a double dip. They get the ball to start the second half.
Exactly. Double dip here. Try and get some points on the board here. Get the ball back in the second half, particularly if it's going to follow the rhythm of how this game has been to start. One score, maybe another. That might be all you need, from two offenses, particularly Brownstown Central, who led the state in scoring, to be kept at 0 through much of the first half is pretty shocking, but that might be all they need with how the defenses have been playing.
Yeah, how about that? You talk about 54.8 points per game. We could round up to make it seem even more impressive. But 0 points for Brownstown Central through almost the entirety of the first half. As now Andrean hopes to get their first points on the ball game. Dylan Gore in the ball game will roll out right, throw right, but incomplete over the outstretched arms of Gavin Jones as Brownstown is over that one.
You could see now with the emphasis, they've been going to Bo a lot early, right? So now that Brownstown defense, they're adjusting and they're sending more coverage toward him to try and get him out of the game. In response, Andrean has been going towards Jones a lot more now, particularly this drive, a few targets already to start.
A little bit of a line change in the skill position department for Andrean. As now 3 receivers are in tight. We'll have a receiver out to the far side. Looks to be Stovall on the pitch to the right side, and a big loss there forced by Brownstown Central. Joe Roberts in on that one. And now a big loss to set it up, a potential field goal attempt here, but loss of 5.
Joe Roberts had the interior pressure there right as the defensive tackle, knew where the play was going, sniffed out the sweep play, and just went there, blasted up the middle, and had the speed as a defensive lineman to track him down as well.
Now I believe we'll have a timeout on the field. Andrean's first of the ball game. Again, ball's on the 17-yard line, so may bring out the kicking unit. Jax Alvarez, 5 of 6 on the year. His longest only on the year, Zach, 26 yards. So if they do go that route, it'll be a season long for Alvarez.
Well, I guess that's why I think they're calling the timeout here, not just because of the time, but to give themselves an opportunity. Okay, if we do have to go for it here, what's the play going to look like?
Alvarez is the junior kicker. And ball on the 17-yard line. So do the math, 17 yards-ish. Could be a 34-yard attempt for the junior kicker. As what is still a 0-0 ball game. Ball will be on the right hash as both teams still huddled up. Zach, what's been a fun first half, though, despite what the scoreboard says. I like kind of a good defensive battle, if you will.
If sometimes you see 0-0 scores and think, oh, that must mean there's been bad football played. Quite the opposite here to start in this first half. If you're a fan of defensive football, this is the perfect game for you. This has been incredible execution and plays made on both sides of the defenses, with every little offensive chance that you get being that much more important.
And Andrean will opt to kick. So Jax Alvarez walks on the field. Brady Ellis will be the holder. Ball is on the right hash on the 17-yard line, making this an approximate 34-yard attempt for the junior kicker. As we await the snap. Snap looks good, hold looks good, kick is up, and kick is no good. It sailed left, similar to what we saw earlier from the Braves, and they stand tall.
They stand tall. They've traded now a pair of kicks inside the red zone, where both defenses that we were talking about before the game, really big stalwarts that have played so great thus far, even if they bend a little bit, let them get inside the red zone. They're not going to break, and they don't allow any points.
Now 1:13 to go in this half. Again, Andrean will get the ball to start the second half. So now maybe decision time for an offense that, yes, puts up points, but does not do it through the air. It does not really get those chunk plays that we maybe normally see from high-scoring offenses.
Yep, and you don't want to give them a chance here, turn the ball over and give Andrean another shot before the half. Maybe just want to take this one into the half.
And the Braves only have one timeout to their name now. They take over on the 20. They will throw it to start. Sheffer on a one-on-one coverage jump ball. That is incomplete. Gavin Jones was in on the coverage. Threw that one up to Trueblood, who already had a big catch here tonight.
Yep, that's two guys there who are getting it done on both sides of the ball. But Jones here particularly, that's great coverage. Textbook how you want to play that there, keeping your eyes on the ball, through the ball, going to the receiver. You don't want to have your back turned. That's where the call is going to be. The flag's going to be thrown there for defense pass interference. Kept his eyes on the ball all the way through. Great coverage.
Do you like the call from Brownstown Central? Throw a shot there on 1st and 10. See what you got.
See what you got, and then, maybe run the ball here next to.
As they do just that, going to be a outside handoff, but Andrean is all over that one. Trey Sweeney, the ball carrier. He might have lost one. And on that one was Landon Murray, the junior defensive end.
I just can't emphasize enough how impressed I've been with this Andrean defense to not be fooled by anything. I would really think with a team that runs the ball as well and as successfully as this Brownstown Central offense has, that maybe they would be a little fooled, if they tried to pass the ball sometimes, but not at all. They have been prepared anytime they want to go down the field.
And now both teams are kind of taking their time here as Brownstown Central let this clock run as deep as it can. Still has one timeout, and I think they'll burn it right here. And they will, Zach. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. You guys are listening to Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Back here for live audio coverage of the Class 2A Football State Championship. Mike Dewan, Zach Miller here in the booth alongside us. Is plenty of RSN personnel. Again, feel free to check out. Give us likes, give us follows, give us new subscribers on all of our platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram as well. Plenty of content, both videos and photos and stuff you can't see on this broadcast here from what is a fun state football weekend. As now 21 seconds to go here at 3rd and 11 for the Braves, who just recently burned their final timeout of the half. So they will bring everybody in tight, going to be a quarterback keeper once again. And same result as Andrean is all over that one. One of the bigger pickups of the day, but only, we'll call it 3 yards there, Zach, and then I think that'll do it for the first half.
That'll do it for the first half. Very symbolic there. Christian Gavin meeting him at the line of scrimmage, coming from the weak side. Great defense there from the 59ers.
Nothing after the first half of action here at the Luke. We'll have the Commissioner's Corner up next, and before you know it, Zach and I will break down what just transpired here in Indianapolis. You are listening to Game Night, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Happy Thanksgiving week. Welcome into the Commissioner's Corner, our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. I'm Brendan King. Hope everybody is enjoying some time this week with their families during this holiday season. Paul, happy Thanksgiving to you. And, of course, Thanksgiving in the IHSAA means the IHSAA football state finals are coming up this weekend at Lucas Oil Stadium. You guys ready to go?
Oh, we are. We had our meeting yesterday where all our schools came in to Lucas Oil, and Assistant Commissioner Falcon educated our member schools on everything to expect for this championship series at Lucas Oil Stadium.
It's a special time, and I know the partnership with the Colts means a ton to the IHSAA, and it wouldn't be possible to play at Lucas Oil Stadium without them. But when you get to a state final, it's not only special for the kids, it's special for the coaches. Then you add into account the referees are there. They've worked all year to get to Lucas Oil Stadium. The broadcasters, the towns as little as Brownstown or as big as Maryville or as big as Fort Wayne are all coming together to this one section to celebrate high school sports. So you just sum up just what this means to not only the kids but everybody in this state this entire weekend.
Brendan, this is a perfect reason. And what you just described is why we brought forth the tagline, "This is your IHSAA," because it is so much bigger than just this building here on Meridian Avenue. It's time-honored tradition that we celebrate state championships in the grandest fashion available. And it's truly meant for everybody. And I think it's broadcasters, as you just mentioned. We have a lot of people who want to get put on the broadcaster list that would love to do an Indiana high school football championship. And, you know, it really is community-based. It's really Indiana strong, as we so to speak, and it just is so special for everybody involved.
Paul, of course, this weekend, for fans wanting to buy a ticket, they can get them at IHSAA.org. They can get them at the Lucas Oil Stadium box office. And then probably the most special part of each day, you buy one ticket, Paul, you're there for the entire session. So you get 3 fabulous football games per day.
Yeah, you can get 3 games per day, and it's a great event. And, you know, one of the things that we do want to caution our fans on is make sure that you go to one of those sources or Ticketmaster to purchase your ticket. We do know that there are some resellers out there charging significantly more than the value of the ticket. And their general mission, and everybody can get one. There's plenty of tickets, and just go to Ticketmaster or IHSA.org or Lucas Oil and get your ticket.
Paul, I have to highlight this guy one more time on the Commissioner's Corner because his illustrious career did come to an end last week at Semi-State, and that was Miles McLaughlin, the new all-time leading rusher in this state. Came up just short of the all-time national record held by Derrick Henry, but he holds multiple national records. And anytime somebody goes to the history books now, it's going to be Knox High School, Indiana, Miles McLaughlin. Just how amazing was that career for a guy that's going to go on to big things?
Well, it was phenomenal. Miles and his community and his teammates were able to put that string of success of, phenomenal football runner. But, Miles didn't do it by himself. He did it with multiple people around him to do that. But it's just cool that the national record as far as individual season and scores and all that stuff, even though he didn't get the overall career record, he still holds multiple records. And again, as you say, that's from Indiana, and that's one of ours. And I can't wait for the people in Texas or other big football states to be able to read where this national record is held in Indiana.
Amazing. Paul, last thing, boys basketball getting started. Girls basketball has been underway for a while. Holiday tournaments, I know they're special. I'm sure you played in a good amount of them. It's a great time of year for hoops, too, as you get to the transition.
Yeah, we kicked off this week, and there's a full slate of games tonight and tomorrow night as we get into the Thanksgiving week, and then basketball is going, and there's some early season tournaments that are going on now. But man, if fans really want to get out there, that Christmas holidays, between Christmas and New Year's,
right,
the number of games that you go into any facility and see as many as 8 games in a single day. They're packed in tight, but you have an opportunity to watch a lot of basketball, especially that time of year where it's a little slower and time to enjoy Indiana high school basketball.
The best, Paul Neidig with us on the Commissioner's Corner. Paul, we'll see you at Lucas Oil Stadium this weekend. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig, and thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
Back here to break down the first half live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. I'm Mike DeWan. Alongside me is Zach Miller. 0-0 reads your score here in this ball game between Andrean and Brownstown Central. Zach, it's been a slugfest, a rock fight, whatever you want to call it. There's been a lot of names for this ball game, but we've seen some explosive plays offensively here and there. One big touchdown called back from Andrean. A couple drives that weren't really capitalized on, a couple takeaways at the hands of Brownstown Central. But all in all, there's nothing really to show for it here in this first half, but some great defense nonetheless, and some defenses standing tall.
There's been some things that stood out, like you said, some big plays called back, some opportunities not cashed in, but the one thing that's remained consistent on both sides is incredible defense. From both sides, whether it be in the pass game, where they're keeping people both on the outside and in the interior, keeping passes from going through, whether that's stopping the pass from even getting thrown in the first place from the interior pressure, stopping the quarterback, or the defensive backfield in the secondary, deflecting the passes away or forcing a turnover in the sense of Brownstown Central. This has been great defense from both sides, particularly in the run game. Looking at Andrean here, this is a team that ran over 80% of the time in Brownstown Central with a wing T defense, and Andrean has held them to 36 rush yards this first half. For a team that averages 54 points a game, Mike, that's incredible.
How about this, Zach? 19 attempts, 1.9 yards per carry for Brownstown Central. For some of those deeper numbers, talk about the fullback, Brannaman. 3 carries, 12 yards. We have a 1,000-yard rusher, Preston Garrison, 7 carries, 11 yards. The quarterback, Micah Sheffer, tries 7 carries for 9 yards. So this kind of segues into my next question, but what has impressed you, despite, again, no points to show for it, and despite giving the ball away 2 times? Andrean definitely well in this ball game. What has impressed you about the Andrean 59ers in this first half?
What's impressed me is their moxie. They really came out starting this game with so much confidence, and they haven't let some of these times where they haven't been scoring, even though there's been great defense, by the way, from Brownstown Central, only allowing them to 21 rushing yards, right? But this has been, think about it. They got the play called back, but they had a great pass there from Tyler Rowe. They've been able to keep the chains moving a little more than Brownstown Central with their 7 first downs to their 3, where they've just had a little more rhythm to their offense, a little more of a mix. I know there's only 120 rush yards with that, but they've been able to pass the ball better, particularly on those third downs when they have to get them. They've been able to get it to Tyler Rowe on the outside. Now look, with all that being said, it's still 0-0, right? But if you're trying to project going into the second half, I feel that projects better for the Andrean offense rather than Brownstown, where their offense is solely predicated on getting that running game going. If they can't get the passing game going, the big pass play really for their 36 or their 23 passing yards, it happened on that fake punt. So much of that came on a fake punt, where they're going to have to, for Andrean, I feel their offense and their production on offense is a little more sustainable than what can happen for Brownstown Central.
Yeah, the Andrean defense, to get back to the fake punt, Zach, they had 25 yards on that completion to Trueblood. They had one other catch. It went for -2 yards. So they had more yards on, of course, that one catch on that fake punt pass to Trueblood than they've had for the rest of the game. So this Andrean defense really has their fingerprints all over this game. But there's 2 takeaways that were forced by Brownstown Central. Going to the Andrean side of things, Dylan Gore, the quarterback, did have an interception. 5 of 9 in completions to attempts, 77 yards. Brady Elish, the other quarterback, 24 yards to his name, 5 of 7. Elish against 14 rushing yards to his name with that big fumble that almost set up Brownstown Central for the first score of the ballgame. Some top receivers for Andrean, though, finding something maybe in that passing game, Zach. They had that touchdown called back from Tyler Vo, who he has 5 catches for 29 yards. Gavin Jones as well, big 38-yard catch, 60 yards in the ballgame on 2 catches. So if there's one piece, at least offensively in this game, that's been a plus on both sides, on both sidelines, we could say, the Andrean passing game's been pretty solid.
Yes, it's been solid, and they've been finding their playmakers with Jones and Vo, but I would say particularly for success going to this second half, I try and remain consistent with that and keep the ball away from Kai Trueblood. He has been the one who has gotten his hands on the ball for those 2 turnovers for the Andrean defense, both in the fumble recovery and the interception to start. If you can try and keep the ball away from him because he is a playmaker, and then get it to your playmakers, try and get them in space, then you'll have a good chance to score here in the second half.
Zach and I will be back after a lengthy break to kind of break down what we should look for here in the second half as what is still a scoreless ball game. We'll be back here. You're listening to Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. For 26 years, Armor Construction has been beautifying homes across Northwest Indiana. From expert roofing and durable siding to eye-catching custom copper work, Armor Construction does it all with the highest quality and integrity. Serving Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties, trust the best exterior construction company in Northwest Indiana to protect your investment.
Ava, let's go.
Try it on.
The shortest distance between two people is a smile. That's why we're committed to fighting hunger in our communities. Until everyone has a reason to smile. Stratton Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
If you are injured in a worksite accident or hurt by a defective product, go with the guy that has a proven track record litigating these cases. Otto Schragle, a principal partner at the Allen Law Group, will make sure those responsible for hurting you are held to account for their negligence. With multiple offices in Indiana and Illinois, you could reach them at 219-465-6292 or reach them out on the web at www.kenallenlaw.com. At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Back here to put a bow on this first half and this halftime coverage. I'm Mike Dewan. Alongside me is Zach Miller, reporting live from the Lucas Oil Stadium, the home of the Indianapolis Colts, and right now the home of the Class 2A football state finals. What has been a scoreless affair between Andrean and Brownstown Central. Zach, final question I have: what does Andrean need to do to get their fourth title in program history? And on the other side, what does Brownstown Central need to do to get their first in program history?
Start with Andrean. They got to get some a little more balance with their offense than they've had already. You know, we've been talked about before the break how they've had some success with the passing game, but going off Andrean, their typical offensive success, they're much more balanced. They find much more success in the running game. With only 21 rushing yards, that's not going to cut it for the second half. And so I'd say they've started with their passing game. They had a lot of success booting the quarterback out, particularly Elish, trying to shorten that field in half to get the reads. I'd maybe do that and get some designed quarterback runs to get his athleticism and his legs involved to get some open up that running game. Then that'll open up the passing game when they have to key in on the quarterback. And then as well, maybe there'll be some runs on the inside that'll open up when they're paying attention on Elish. Now on the other side for Brownstown Central, I would say they definitely need to try, maybe give it more to Branham on the inside runs, I'd say, particularly because they've been trying to have a little more success on the outside runs, and that's where you're really losing yards. Not just getting to the line of scrimmage and stuff, but losing yards. I'd say for their play style, trying to get those 3 yards in the cloud of dust, so to speak, it might just take getting those 3 yards every 4 downs, 3, maybe 4 yards on those plays, get a long drive going to where maybe you get a field goal or a touchdown, but just try and not have those negative plays. That's what's been killing them more than anything, whether it be the few pre-snap penalties they've had that have put them behind the chains, and then those losing the yards. That's the recipe for disaster for a wing T offense where you run the ball so much of the time. You cannot lose yards under any circumstance. So even if you're not getting the 10-yard, 8-yard runs that you're accustomed to for most of the season, just try and settle and get, maybe if it's 3 yards or 4 yards, just more north to south running rather than the east to west running.
That'll wrap it up for us here for the first half. Coverage will be back here with the second half here shortly. You're listening to Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step toward your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
When it comes to your money, you deserve more than just numbers on a page. You deserve someone who sees the full picture. Meet Mark Machnick, one of Northwest Indiana's most trusted accounting professionals. Whether you're running a business, planning for retirement, or just trying to make sense of tax season, Mark Machnick, located in Highland, makes it simple, personal, and believe it or not, painless. Contact Mark and his team today at 219-595-5290. Mark Machnick, CPA.
Life isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that matter the most. Of effort, of a dream taking root. And behind those moments, there's trust. Thank you for trusting Centier Bank with those moments and making us a part of your story. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your trust.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown. One of Northwest Indiana's most respected law firms, Burke, Costanza & Carberry, now has an office in LaPorte. With additional offices in Maryville and Valparaiso, BCC serves their clients with more than 20 attorneys. Providing trusted counsel and advocacy, BCC practices in a wide range of areas including estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. BCC is committed to serving the region's growing legal needs. Learn more about Burke, Costanza & Carberry online at bcclegal.com. Providing quality, affordable services, Rurik's Heating and Cooling has been servicing Northwest Indiana since 1937. The licensed service technicians at Rurik's work quickly to identify and repair the problem. And Rurik's also sells and installs name brand units. Call 769-6411 today to schedule your appointment. You can also visit them on the web at ruriksnwi.com. Mention this ad and receive $100 off a germicidal machine or whole home humidifier installation. At Rurik's, your comfort is their priority.
Back here listening to live audio coverage of the Class 2A football state finals. We got two more games after this. For you football fans out there, Indy Roncalli takes on Bishop Dwenger at 3 p.m. local time, and Brownsburg takes on Westfield at the Big Dog at the 6A class at 7 p.m., a rematch of last year's 6A state final match. Mike Dewan along with Zach Miller here on the Region Sports Network as we enter the final half of the football season. Again, it's been a fun weekend here, Zach, and a fun week to represent two communities not too far from each other. As we showed this picture last night of what was on the media day with, again, the four representatives from Maryville, the four representatives from Andrean, and you're going to see them kind of arm in arm with each other, pretty cool stuff. They opened the season against each other, and they closed the season, obviously, allowing us to do what we do here tonight.
Start the season facing off against each other, end the season locked in arms as brothers. That's what football is about, Mike. That's what this sport is about, especially when we get down here to these state championship games down here in Indy. We talked about it earlier. Week 1 of the season, all they're thinking about is playing against each other and getting the win. But once both these teams, they had the regular season success and ended up being so successful to make it down here, it's all about rooting for each other. In this picture, so there's nothing better than that when you have these representatives here for the media day earlier this week linking up with each other. That's awesome to see.
It's, like you said, the beauty of sports. And I know that Andrean, I believe, from what I heard from Coach Skinner, they were here last night to watch Maryville despite the loss, supporting their brothers when not too far from each other. Again, faced all the way in Week 1, which what happens to be Andrean's lone loss in the season. But now 2 quarters and maybe some extra to decide who stands tall in the class of 2A. As Andrean and Brownstown will do battle for 24 more minutes. And to try and break this scoreless tie, as Andrean will take over first offensively, pending this Quintel kickoff.
See what they have to offer here, Mike, for this first drive of the game. Coming out of halftime, this is where the best coaches, they show up with the adjustments coming out of half and out of a break. See what they have schemed up here coming out of the half.
This is the Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs of the 2025 football season are and have been presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. 2 deep for Andrean. Watch out for Gavin Jones, number 12, as it will be a short kick recovered by Andrean. Ball is on the ground, but is recovered. That looks to be Javier McCoy, who jumped on it at the 30-yard line. A lot of respect for that Andrean return unit, especially number 12.
Yes, a lot of respect for that return unit, and it caught them off guard a little bit. They had their kick team ready, but just when you do that little bouncy squib kick, you don't know exactly how the ball is going to bounce in your hands there. Caught them a little off guard. Fortunate to jump on the ball.
And Andrean, of course, very used to playing on the grass field as well, so kind of why that Wednesday hour practice is so important, Zach, that they get used to kind of the playing surface and obviously all the things that go in playing in this beautiful stadium in the heart of the Hoosier State. As Andrean takes over on the 30-yard line, it will be a quarterback keeper to the left side, Brady Elish. And we brought down for, I think, right at the line of scrimmage by a couple Braves.
Yep, Owen Wishmeyer and Ethan Wheels meeting up on the tackle there in the backfield. Had great contain set there, and they were able to meet him back there, take him down for the loss.
Just sure tacklers this defense is. I mean, despite what they do on offense, their defense really supports them well. There's now a 2nd and 10 ball on the 30. Ball's on the left hash for the 59ers. Pump and go here. Ellis will chuck it deep to Gavin Jones. Jump ball, it is brought down. Jones goes up and gets it, having quite the game of his senior season here, especially on the offensive side of things.
Second time they've had success now, Mike, with that pump and go. You could tell it is their go-to play in the passing game, hitting it big there past midfield.
Jones, 5'11", goes up and grabs it, plucks it out of the air. Jackson Johnson was in on the coverage, but not before. Jones moves the sticks and gets Andrean into enemy territory. Now ball is on the 47-yard line. Big pickup there, 23 yards. This time going to be an outside handoff, actually an inside keeper by Brady Elsh, who makes a man miss and has some room to the 40, to the 35, gets a first down and more. Good running there from the senior quarterback. Another outside. Again, we've seen this a lot, Zach, where the quarterback keeper keep it in between the tackles. Ellis looked to be dead to rights after a couple yards and made a couple guys miss, bounced to the outside, first down Andrean.
This is exactly what we were talking about, Mike, during the keys to this second half, was to get the ball into Ellis's hands, let him use that athleticism in his legs to open up this running game for the 59ers offense.
Ball now at the 31-yard line, so 2 quick first downs for Andrean to put together what has been quite the drive here to start this second half. Ball is on the left hash. There's 2 receivers to the near side as we got an H-back and a receiver to the far side. And a back behind Brady Elish. It'll be an inside handoff to Brady Stovall, who had a quiet first half of his standards, but a good carry here on his first carry of the second half. That'll be a gain of 5 or 6.
And did you see there, Mike, like we were talking about, when you have that threat of Elish running the ball, you're able to get Brady Stovall there to run the ball a little more effectively up the middle, because those defenders have to respect Elish on the run himself.
Stovall, only 2 carries in the first half, did not go for much coming into this game. Leading the team in carries and rushing yards and in touchdowns, so might be a name to look out for in this second half, the junior tailback, who's been a bell cow. On what is a 2nd and 3 now on Andrean's first drive of the half. Going to be a play fake. Brady Ellis looking deep, cannot find anybody. It will be Dylan Gore actually, and shoved out of bounds. Will be a loss of a couple yards there. Dylan Gore in the ball game. Predominantly the passer. Couldn't find anything there.
Yep, great play on the outside there by Grayson Cassidy to get him in. And that is, Gore being such a great passer and their predominant passer here, but what little downside it can be when we have that against a great defense like this. They can tell once he comes in the game, very likely going to be a passing play once he comes in.
More importantly, Zach, it'll go down as a 6-yard loss for Dylan Gore. We can call that a rush. He was forced out of bounds, and now Brady Ellis is back in the ball game as the ball is on the 30-yard line on the left hash. Tyler Vo to the far side of the field. 2 receivers to the near side and an H-back. Ellis will roll out right. Will use his legs to try and find something to the 30. Will get to the 25, shoved out of bounds, but sets up a 4th and manageable for this Andrean offense.
That's what you want to do in that situation there, Mike. If you can't get it all the way, at least try to cut it in half. He realized that once again they ran the bootleg, cut the field in half, didn't have his reads, so he just took it himself. Get what you can for a manageable 4th down here.
I think at this point, Zach, it'll be a 4-season mechanical 4-down territory. Your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. That is 4 seasons mechanical in Maryville. Again, Jax Alvarez had that missed kick earlier. And now with this being a little bit farther, Andrean may try and go. Ellis under center. And now backs up into the gun. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side with an H-back to his right. And Chris Skinner will burn Andrean's first time out of the ball game with 9:50 to go. We'll step aside here. You're listening to Game Day in the region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. For 26 years, Armor Construction has been beautifying homes across Northwest Indiana. From expert roofing and durable siding to eye-catching custom copper work, Armor Construction does it all with the highest quality and integrity. Serving Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties, trust the best exterior construction company in Northwest Indiana to protect your investment.
Ava, let's go.
Try it on.
The shortest distance between 2 people is a smile. That's why we're committed to fighting hunger in our communities until everyone has a reason to smile. Stratton Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Back here at the Luke, Mike Dewan, Zach Miller is Andrean. It's decision time for the Niners. The 4th and 4 ball on the 25-yard line. Chris Skinner. And the Niners use their first timeout of the ball game, Zach. Or what you have 1 half of football to play in this season. Those timeouts do loom large in a 0-0 ball game.
Yep, and we've seen Coach Skinner do this in the first half where he called a timeout on 4th down to see what he wanted his team to do. They elected for the field goal in the first half, which they had missed. This time, seeing if they go for a different result, bringing the offense back onto the field.
And Brady Ellis will be in the gun. Next to him looks to be Brady Stovall. 2 receivers to the far side with Tyler Vo and Mark Grubbs. And 2 receivers to the near side. That looks to be Gavin Jones and Stetson Sullivan. On a big 4th and 4. Snap goes back to Ellis. Going to fake it to Stovall. Will keep it himself. He will not get there. Maybe a pickup of 2. But again, a defense stands tall. This time Isaac Hutchinson and Brownstown Central. They do just that.
You want your big-time players to make big-time plays in the biggest moments, Mike, and that's exactly what happened. Isaac Hutchinson, the Central Michigan commit for Brownstown Central Braves, gets in the backfield and brings him down for the loss. Huge stop for them here to get points off the board, and what was a successful drive up to that point for the Andrean 59ers.
It's, again, bend, don't break, Zach, and we have seen it all across the board here on this Saturday afternoon. As now Brownstown will take over. Ball's on the 24-yard, then will just be a direct snap inside. One of the biggest runs of the afternoon for the Braves for Micah Sheffer. Pickup of 9.
Yep, keeping it with Sheffer there. Like we said earlier, maybe just a little less of the east and west run game, trying to do so much of the misdirection. Maybe just shortening it a little bit for them, going more north to south, one cut. Take the yards you can get rather than get it all in a big play.
Sheffer, who was really bottled up by this Andrean defense. This time going to be a direct snap to the fullback. Another big chunk play for Trevor Branneman. That will move the sticks, and back-to-back big runs here for the Braves.
Their 4th first down of the game here now, and that was Brenningham. That was his 4th or 5th carry here in the game, and he's had the most success out of any of the backs in his limited carries this game.
He said 4 first downs. That compares to Andrean's 9 for those counting at home. Now an outside handoff to, that'll be Lyndon Lanier. He gets a short pickup there of 1 over the right side. It looks to be Rocco Allegretti might have been in on the stop.
Rocco Allegretti and Reyna able to chop him up with the feet there to prevent him from getting much yardage past the line.
Ball on the 43-yard line of Brownstown Central, who has the ball here with 8:28 to go in this third quarter. Now a false step here from the quarterback, and Sheffer, another good carry, will try and move the pile himself, but will fall just short of the line to gain. A little bit of a quarterback counter, if you will, there, Zach. Took a false step. Something we haven't really seen in the first half from this offense.
Yep, we're talking about adjustments being made in the first half to the second half. Good adjustment there. You could tell that Coach May wants to get a little bit of a different look here for this offense, running a different counter that they hadn't seen already.
Reed May, 33 years with the program, hoping for a signature win. Going to be a direct snap to the fullback, and it will be a first down by maybe a yard or 2. That's Branneman moving the sticks now as they get into enemy territory.
Yep, you can see here they're switching up their carries a little bit more, giving more of a focus to the quarterback Sheffer and the fullback Branningham. They were going more with the slot backs in the first half. They're definitely prioritizing more north to south with the quarterback and the fullback this go around.
And this time going to be a sweep to the left side. This will be Garrison. We'll get a short pickup of 2 or 3 yards. Another big piece of this puzzle of Brownstown Central that's been kind of held at bay right now from Andrean. Again, Garrison, 26 touchdowns to his name entering this ballgame, 1,376 rushing yards. So 2 thumbs up from Andrean here so far, containing number 1.
Yep, they've currently kept him the less yards in this game than he has touchdowns on the year. You'll take that if you're the 59ers.
Going to be a quarterback keeper once again by Sheffer, falling forward. We'll go pickup of 2 there. As it will now set up, we'll call it a 3rd and 4. Ball is on the 41-yard line. It looks like an Andrean 59er is shaken up down on the field. Getting a look of that. Looks somebody potentially up front for the Niners. And we'll get a word on that, but we'll take a quick break if we could here, Zach. You're listening to Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Providing quality, affordable services, Rurik's Heating and Cooling has been servicing Northwest Indiana since 1937. The licensed service technicians at Rurik's work quickly to identify and repair the problem. And Rurik's also sells and installs name brand units. Call 769-6411 today to schedule your appointment. You can also visit them on the web at ruriksnwi.com. Mention this ad and receive $100 off a germicidal machine or whole home humidifier installation. At Rurik's, your comfort is their priority.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Back here on the Region Sports Network, Miguel Rivera was the Andrean 59er shaken up. Was down for a minute, but now walking off under his own power, which is good to see. But now a 3rd and 4 for this Brownstown Central offense. Ball is on the 41-yard line. We've seen adjustments being made, like you said, Zach, and A team now that's starting to their quarterback's kind of starting to rise to the occasion, I guess, if you will. It's been a tough sledding for him. A couple big runs for Micah Sheff here so far for the Braves.
Yep, that's what they want to do. Get the ball in some different hands than what Andrean had been seeing in the first half. And now you're in a position with the Braves offense, 3rd and 4, where it's much better than the 3rd and 9s where they're in the passing downs. Now in this 4-down territory, they could still run their offense the way they want to.
So ball on the 41-yard line, the left hash, a 3rd and 4 for this Braves offense. So we will see a similar formation as we've seen all afternoon long. Man in motion, going to be a handoff to that looks to be Preston Garrison, who will pick up the first down and about 2 more yards beyond that over the left side. They will move the sticks once again.
Now you see, Mike, with Garrison, you have these slopbacks coming into motion, going a little more east to west. Now that you have some success north to south, it opens up those running lanes a little bit to where they have to be a little more cognizant of the inside rush and rather than just leading to the outside.
Good kick-out block by Sloan Stuckwish as well over there, one of the top offensive linemen for this Braves offense. This ball is now on the 35 with over 6 minutes to go here. Going to be a direct snap to the fullback. And Andrean was over that one. We'll call it a gain of 2 for Brannaman.
Yep, number 33.
Vinny Zupan?
Vinny Zupan. He was the one getting the tackle there at the bottom of the pile. Was able to bring him down for a short gain.
Zupan, the sophomore linebacker, played a lot as a freshman as well. 68 tackles to his name, 11 those coming for a loss. A lot of young pieces on this Andrean roster, despite them being here in the state finals. Their defense hopes to stand tall again as the quarterback will keep this one. Goes to the left. That time, nothing there. Javier McCoy in on the stop, as well as a couple other of his friends.
Yep, Javier McCoy, Zupan again able to get there in the backfield. You see when they're trying to go a little more outside the tackle, they're not finding success. 59ers defense has done an incredible job of setting that edge and contain.
We had McCoy, a couple other guys. Number 33, that's Zupan, like you said. Just a deep defensive unit that's given up 12.1 points per game. And now a big 3rd and 7 here. Ball on the 32 will be another quarterback keeper. This time a good pickup. Will fall just short of the line to gain, but set up a decision for this Braves offense as Sheffer. Another quarterback counter to the left side, and that time good pickup there. Set up 4th and 1.
And I'll tell you what their decision probably will be with 2 teams that have missed some close field goals. When you get into this 4th and short situation, you're always going to go for it now, especially.
Let's do it then. The Four Seasons Mechanical 4-down territory. Presented by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. We will have to put that one on pause as Brownstown Central will now burn their first timeout of the half. We'll take a 30-second break. You're listening to Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Ava, let's go.
Try it on.
The shortest distance between 2 people is a smile. That's why we're committed to fighting hunger in our communities. Until everyone has a reason to smile. Stratton Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Back here for Game Day, built by Armor Construction. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium, Mike DeWan, Zach Miller. And what looks to be a monumental 4th and 1 now. Ball on the Andrean 26 for the Brownstown Braves offense. We've seen a lot of Micah Sheffer as of late here, Zach. And it was tough sledding in the first. A little bit more production here in the second half. But you see the guy to key in on this 4th and short?
I think him or Branham, it's 2 teams have paralleled each other a lot between the missed field goals, 4th down stops, mishaps on some fumbles and whatnot. This is a play here. If whoever's going to win this game, they're going to have to break that chain of the parallels.
They will go on this one. Going to be a direct snap to the quarterback. He will be, I believe he will have enough looking at where he is at the pile. It is a quarterback draw for Micah Sheffer, and he will move the chains.
You're right on it, Mike. They went right to the quarterback who's led them on this drive here. Just a direct snap inside the middle there. Great way pushed through some tacklers there. May have got stopped at the line to gain, but got an extra 1.5 yards pushing through himself.
Yeah, Landon Murray almost got in the backfield, shot through the line to gain. Almost had him in his grasp, but not before Sheffer got the first down. Ball on the 24. Man in motion. It will be a quarterback keeper. Actually, it will be the handoff to the outside. That is Preston Garrison. Not going for much, if any.
Yep, I'm telling you this, that happened right there. I mean, this offense, their misdirection is top tier because they don't stop as soon as they hand the ball off there. It's great defense on the edge, only limited to 2 yards. But the quarterback, Sheffer, even when he doesn't have the ball, he's still running and taking hits like he is getting the ball, still making defenders miss.
Yeah, he got me on that one. I'm not going to lie.
Well, he got me too for the most part because he was running just like he had the ball and got hit like he did. So.
Yeah, it's a culture thing. It's one of those things where, when you have a culture that's in place with a long-time head coach who knows how to run this offense, as looks to be maybe equipment malfunction or whatnot, but Ethan Arana comes off onto the field as Jordan Lofe, his replacement, will
take the play off.
I don't know if his helmet popped off or I believe they're adjusting him on the sideline. Don't think he's banged up by any means, but Ethan Arana will have to come off, but now a 2nd and 8 for the Braves. Ball on the 22-yard line. It'll be a double reverse now, but not much there. Andrean stops that one. That's Lanier, the ball carrier, tackled by Jordan Lofe, who just came on the field.
Yep, Jordan Lofe calling his name when he gets on the field, making an impact as soon as he does. Sets that edge incredibly well for that double reverse. Not letting him go anywhere.
Lofe makes one tackle that comes right off for Ethan Arana, who's back in on the action. But a good tackle there for the junior linebacker. Now sets up a 3rd and 7. 3 minutes to go here at the ball on the 21. Will be a double reverse, a triple reverse. Once again, we'll throw it here. Micah Sheffer tries to roll out right, uses his improvisation, throws it on the money. Is it caught? Out of bounds. Threw it right beyond the front pylon. A great throw on the run by the senior quarterback. The intended receiver, I think that was Jack Pace, the leading receiver for this Brave squad. Take a look at the replay here, Zach. Right on the money. That is close.
That's incredibly close there, Mike. Looks at the feet, might have been just on the white, but it was a great play call there with the double reverse to throw it back to the quarterback, rolls out to his right. Very close play.
That is really close. Andrean may have caught a break here, but now more importantly, the field goal is up, and it is off the upright. No good. From 38 yards out. The kick is off the mark. It hit the left upright and bounced out of where it needed to go if you're a Brownstown fan. Wow, what a swing of events here.
Oh, my goodness. This game just has so many moments like this, Mike, where you think you have the big play and the big score in the bag, and then it's a call that maybe doesn't go your way, or a penalty that happens, where it just throws it off, and then you get another chance to score, or you get this low winding kick that bounces off the upright from 38 yards. This game, it's the gift that keeps on giving with this defense, Mike. Just the results where it doesn't go your way and the defense makes another stand in the red zone.
Yeah, nobody has broken yet here, if you will. It was, again, a bang-bang play in the end zone on a 3rd down for Brownstown Central that, I don't know, again, a tough call there by the referee. May or may not have been in bounds, and next play comes around, and a second missed kick for the Braves, and now Andrean will take over. Ball on the 20, completed pass to Tyler Vogt, up for the first down and more. Good pickup there. We'll call it 16. As into the ball game under center. I believe that was completed by Brady Ellis.
Yep, he has great rapport with both the quarterbacks. You could tell they're trying to give Vogt the ball, and by the time he gets it, he's already on the move to get some yards after the catch.
Well, 5'9", 170. Also returns kicks as well. Big on the punt return game especially. And definitely after the catch. 4 receivers out wide. Vogt is in motion. It's going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle to Brady Ellis. Watch out here to the 50, to the 45, 40, 35, and gets out of bounds. One of the bigger runs of the evening for the senior quarterback.
Great run on the outside. Kicks it inside with the read option. Takes it out. And I want to give some shout out to Mark Grubbs, the receiver on the outside. Sets the edge for him. could have very likely have gotten a block in the back if he didn't pull his hands away at the last second, had the presence of mind to take them away, so he's already going to get the long run. No need to do that. That was a great play by both there.
Another big pickup. Ball's now on the 36-yard line, the right hash, if you will. 2:12 to go here in this third quarter, but it feels like we've seen this before, Zach. Can a team punch it in the end zone as play clock is winding down to 2? The ball is snapped. It's going to be a direct snap to Brady Ellish up the middle for a decent gain. We'll call it 4. The quarterback draw. Bringing up 2nd and 6.
It's really what it's going to be down to, Mike, like you said. It feels like these teams keep paralleling each other, as we said, where they kind of are repeating the same things. They start these drives well, they get down to the other side of the field, and then they just aren't able to convert and be able to get points on the board. Whoever cracks first is going to be the one to win.
Ball on the 32-yard line. Ellish is back to pass. Will look right. Will complete right. That is Gavin Jones, who shakes off a tackler. Jukes back inside to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and brought down just before he hits the 5-yard line. The yards after the catch and showing his kick return ability is Gavin Jones.
What a move by Jones to get inside the 5-yard line there. Looks like he was going out of bounds, breaks off a would-be tackler, then jukes 2 brave defenders in their spot, cutting to the middle of the field, getting to the goal line.
Now the ball is on the right hash at the Brownstown Central 5 as Andrean lopes to strike first. Late in this third quarter as a jumbo package now out on the field. 2 receivers to the near side. Ethan Reyna in the ball game as an H-back. And Javier McCoy, the tailback, will be a give to McCoy. Inside, stretching for the goal line. He'll be just short. Ball will be on the 1-yard line, inside the 1-yard line.
Bringing the beef here for this jumbo package, Mike. You're bringing a lot more size with Reyna and McCoy trying to do it, and they're hurrying up here, looking like they're getting on the line.
We've seen this before. A little bit of tush-push action will be Brady Ellis will try to do it himself. He didn't get there. And they will mark him short. Did not have anybody pushing Ellis. It was all just kind of up to the quarterback to do it on his own.
Yep, and you want to be careful here not to rush yourself. Now you see they're taking a little more time for the play call here on third and short on the goal line. You don't want to rush yourself and make a mistake. Take your time here. Time left in the quarter. See what you got.
And Andrean will have to snap the ball before the third quarter ends. It'll be another quarterback dive, and nothing there once again. The ball might be on the ground. I believe they're marking him down. But he did not score. It was Ellish once again. But back-to-back quarterback sneaks. Falls short. And now put your 4s up, Zach. This will be a big first play of the fourth quarter in what is still a 0-0 ball game. We'll be back here. This is Game Day. Built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Providing quality, affordable services, Rurik's Heating and Cooling has been servicing Northwest Indiana since 1937. The licensed service technicians at Rurik's work quickly to identify and repair the problem. And Rurik's also sells and installs name brand units. Call 769-6411 today to schedule your appointment. You can also visit them on the web at ruriksnwi.com. Mention this ad and receive $100 off a germicidal machine or whole home humidifier installation. At Rurik's, your comfort is their priority.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Back here on the biggest play of the ball game, a 4th and 1 for the Andrean 59ers on the 1-yard line. Trying to score, break the scoreless tie. They had back-to-back quarterback tush pushes to no avail. Zach, what's the play call here if they go for it?
Tell you, I don't think it's a tush push. They're ready for it. They haven't been successful in this one here. I think you got to try and get the ball to your playmaker here. The big one here, I'd try and get the ball to Reyna to be able to push it through, muscle through that big front, and get yourself on the board here.
Some big tailbacks for Andrean. Ethan Reyna, who does have nearly 600 yards on the season, has been more of kind of that linebacker, but Javier McCoy as well is a name that could linger. Brady Stovall is a tough one to break down as well, but we saw Stovall, who had that I believe that was McCoy on the first down carry. A good pickup. Got the ball inside the 1. Ellis called his number once. No good. Called his number a second time. No good. And now a 4th and 1 to start this fourth quarter. In what has been a fun 3 quarters, despite no score in this ballgame.
Exactly, and there's coming no better situation than this coming to a 4th and 1 inside the 1-yard line for both coaches. It's really going to come down to who is going to execute better here coming out of the break to think about this play. By far the biggest play of the game.
Is now looking at who is coming out on the field for Andrean there. As many of us thought they would be going for it. As Brady Elsh will be the quarterback, Javier McCoy in the ball game. Ethan Rain looks to be an H-back. I believe they may even have an extra lineman out there as 2 receivers are out wide. It looks to be Tyler Vo and Gavin Jones. Brady Elsh in the gun with Javier McCoy behind him. Going to be an inside handoff to McCoy. He is stuffed at the goal line. What a stand by this Braves defense. Unbelievable, Zach.
Jack Pace right there ready to meet him within a group of Braves defenders, but Jack Pace led the way there to stop them right on the inside-outside run there. Just met him right there a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Number 31 as well, really meeting him in the gap there. Owen Wishmeyer, as we've said all game, just meeting him right there, pushing him back, waiting for the guys to come help him out. Great play there on the goal line.
I mean, just textbook. Wishmeyer versus McCoy. And Wishmeyer won that battle until a couple more teammates came in, but now they turn the ball over. And now Brownstown takes over on the 1-yard, and they will throw to start here. A shot play. That ball is up, and it is through the arms. That looks to be number 9. That is Lyndon Lanier. Sheffer throwing on first down on the shadow of their own goalpost.
Oh, my goodness. That's talk about a play you wouldn't expect from this offense. Throwing from the shadow of your own goalpost to Lanier. You know, he was able to get open there, make some separation at the last second. Just went through the end there for an incompletion.
And now if you want to stop, if you're an Andrean fan, it needs to be right here. Get that offense back on the field. Or put together quite the drive. And more importantly, you kind of get to this point, Zach, where it's field position. Ball is on the 2 of Brownstown Central. 2nd and 10, 11:48 to go. Play clock is winding down very quickly. And I don't know if they didn't get the play off.
No.
And it will be a 1-yard penalty. At this point, don't think you'd want to take the timeout here, and I don't think they did. It will be a delay of a game on Brownstown Central. So a loss of 1. But a big sequence of play calls here, Zach, to really try and get out of this one way or another.
Yeah, you know, it's difficult because like we were saying earlier, you don't know if you want to do those slot back east to west looks where they can get you in the end zone. You might just want to do even like a quarterback draw right underneath just to get yourself out of here to prevent a safety.
The ball on the 1. It will be a quarterback draw, and I don't know if he got out. The ref will mark him just out of the goal line. Close to being a safety. Landon Murray was first in on the action. But I believe forward progress will. Oh, that was close. I believe he just got out of there, Landon Murray. Disrupting things in the backfield.
Oh, Landon Murray right there to get him there. Just the ball crossing over the goal line to not be a safety. That was close.
More importantly, Sheffer looked a little gimpy on the replay as well. Now 3rd and 11, ball on the 1. Going to be a throw once again. The pass is complete. What a throw. Right on the money. That is number 20, Brock Dean, on a slant route.
What a play to call up there on a big 3rd and 11 on the corner of your end zone. Goes to a second read on the far side, isolated on the field. Brock Dean, slant route right on the money where it needed to be, just in front of the defender. Clutch play.
Pickup of 12 on 3rd and 11. The ball now on the 13 for the Braves. What has been a back-and-forth game, as you can imagine. Going to be a quarterback keeper once again. We'll go pickup of 2 for Micah Sheffer.
Yep, see Sheffer back in the game. That's a good look for the Brownstown Central offense to get him back in the game.
He has been really kind of the leading ball carrier, at least by attempts, we could say in this one. Safely say a lot of hits has been taken by the senior quarterback who's hoping to lead this program to their first state title in football program history, while Andrean is hoping to get number 4. 2004, 2013, 2021, and maybe this year. Going to be a quarterback keeper once again by Schaefer. As that time will pick up the first down. Another quarterback counter by Micah Sheffer. And now we'll take that one. He'll get to the 26-yard line, moving the sticks here.
Showing a lot of heart. Like you said, this is the last part of the season for Brownstown Central. This is their 60th quarter of the season. For Andrean, their 56th. Once you get to this final quarter of the season, it's whatever you have left in the gas tank.
That's a Four Seasons First Down presented by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. Ball on the 26-yard line, 9.5 minutes to go. Going to be an outside handoff to Garrison, the leading rusher. One of his better runs of the night. Pickup of 7 over the left side. Being forced out of bounds by a couple of Niners.
Yep, nice little run to the outside there. A little more success they're having now since they've opened up with the east to west sweep game in this wing T, since they were able to get some runs up the middle with Sheffer.
And now we're going to keep an eye on that clock as well here, Zach. Again, the fourth quarter started with that 4th and 1. This team was able to milk that clock. Going to be a direct snap to the fullback, but wrestled down just before the line to gain. Wrestled down by number 33, Vinny Zupon. Actually, they'll give him the first down, so they'll move the sticks once again. That was Trevor Branneman on the carry.
Yep, move the sticks, see if they can chew some more clock. Like you said, only a couple more possessions left in this game. See what they can do to try and score here and then get a stop and then try to chew the clock out.
Another direct snap in between the tackles for the fullback. Now ball on the 36-yard line on the left hash. This time will be a quarterback keeper. Actually, a give to the left side will be Garrison again getting out of bounds. And a pickup of 3 over the left side.
Yep, good job getting to the outside using Branneman as well as a lead blocker to get 4 yards on the run.
Brownstown Central averaging 311.1 yards per game. And coming into this game, 4,355 rushing yards. As a team, 54.8 points per game through 3 frames and a little bit of change. 0 points. As now a 2nd and 7 with under or at 9 minutes. Another quarterback keeper from Micah Sheffer. Maybe a pickup of 2. Ethan Reyna on the tackle as well as Christian Gavin.
Yep, Rocco Allegretti helping out there as well. Just getting yourself now, though, what's important for this offense is a third manageable, less than 5 yards to be able to run your offense and see what you could do, especially, I think, Mike, given the part of the field that they're in, they're not quite at the 50 yet. If they get to a 3rd, 4th, and 1 or so, they may go for it.
Now the Andrean faithful are on their feet as a 3rd and 4 ball on the 42-yard line on the left hash. Man in motion is Garrison. Will be a quarterback keeper, and I don't think he got there. It's the keeper from Sheffer, and they'll give him a yard, but he needed 4.
Reyna met him right there in the gap. He tried to do the misdirection spin move there to get in there, but Reyna met him right there, did not let him go anywhere, only getting a yard.
Ethan Reyna had quite the sophomore season last year and followed up with another impressive junior campaign, 95 tackles to his name coming into this ball game. Now a 4th and 3 again. Brownstown will line up in their offensive formation. And they will punt it again. The punt is a little bit blocked. Takes a funky hop, gets to Brady Ellish, and has a little bit of a return. Did the same thing we saw earlier, Zach. A flag is on the field. It might be on Brownstown Central, but the quarterback, Micah Sheffer, looked like they're going to run a play. Did the thing where he kind of spun like he was going to keep it, punted it. I believe Andrean got a paw on it, and the flag is on Brownstown Central for an illegal motion, so they'll decline it. They blocked the punt. Heads-up play by Brady Ellis to recover it, and got a couple yards after that, and I believe they're in enemy territory already.
That they are. They're already on the 45-yard line. Christian Gavin was acting like he was rushing the passer. They're turning into a punt rush, was able to get his outstretched left arm, left hand on that ball, blocked it, only went a few yards forward. Brady Ellis able to recover it, like you said, get a pretty decent return out of it onto their side of the field.
We saw that once from Brownstown where, again, the quarterback, they tried to make it look like a play and then he boots it. But that time Andrean was all over that one, and a heads-up play by the senior. As Andrean will take over now, yes. So you take a look at the replay. Again, they make it look like a play here, Zach, and the quarterback pirouettes, and that was blocked by Christian Gavin. Took a little bit of a hop, got beyond the 50. Ellis recovered, picked up about 15 yards, and now he's in that quarterback with 4 receivers out wide. Going to be a quarterback keeper for Ellis. A couple juke moves up the middle, and a good pickup there on 1st and 10. We'll call it 6 yards.
Way to take with what you can there. They set the edge really strong there. That's where he was looking to go to start. Then he just ran up the middle, got 4 or 5 yards. See, now this has just been a game, Mike, of the continually shifting momentum, big plays happening defensively. Who's going to go first and take advantage of it?
Andrean's made big special teams plays all postseason long, and maybe none bigger than a punt block by Christian Gavin. 4 receivers out wide, empty backfield with the H-back to Ellis's right. Ellis will look to throw, completes it. 1st down and a little bit more. That is Mark Grubbs with his first catch of the ball game. Gets inside the 30.
Keep the chains moving, get the passing game involved now too, blending with the run right there toward the middle. Now they're running a little bit of a hurry up here, getting guys out.
Ball now on the 27, a 1st and 10, a four-season mechanical. 1st down, Andrean again, empty set once again. This time Ellis will keep it, has a lane, bounces to the outside, to the 20, bounces back inside, gets the 1st down, and it'll be dropped down right there. A lot of east-west running, but nonetheless, the 1st down for the senior quarterback.
Oh, my goodness. He cut back across the field 2 different times on that play. It was originally a play up the middle, goes to his right, then cuts back to his left, back to the right, and back to the left. Almost able to break the final tackle there. Great play for the 1st down.
Making us dizzy. As now it looks like we have an official timeout. So it was another four-season mechanical 1st down, that time from the legs of Brady Ellis, which really got the bulk of the action. Kind of set Andrean up in the first place with the pretty solid punt return off of the block from Christian Gavin. And now 6:29 to go. Ball on the 17-yard line of Brownstown Central. And still what is a 0-0 ball game.
It's what it's going to take here, Mike. You're going to have to blend the offense, the defense, and the special teams, all 3 units to get a score to win this championship.
Ball is on the right center part of the field. Tailback in the backfield. It's Brady Ellis once again back to throw. Will step up in the pocket and take off. Bounces out to the left side, makes one miss. Gets inside the 10 and kicked out of bounds by the star linebacker, Owen Wishmeyer, but not until Ellis picks up a couple more yards to set up a very solid 2nd and short here, Zach.
That was a heady decision by Ellis there. He was looking to pass the ball to his right for Vo, but he was covered up. There was a safety. If he had passed it, it would have went right to the safety who had occupied that zone at the last second. He pulls the ball down, runs to his left to get a few yards rather than making a mistake.
In the ball game is 24, Jeremiah Gonzalez lined up at tailback. Last go around, he's still in the ball game, as well as again 4 receivers out wide, 2 per side. With Brady Ellis, as he will look to pass once again, rolls out left, trying to get it away. Ball is tipped and batted away by what has been a heck of a ball game from Owen Wishmeyer.
He is leading this defense like he has all year, and he is making plays when they matter the most, Mike. I mean, right there could have been a potential pass to the left side there, looking to the sideline of the end zone maybe for a pass. Just jumps up right in front of him, batting it down.
Zach, 3rd and 3. We've seen 2 pass plays on this set of downs, or 2 pass plays, 1 scramble play, and then obviously a batted pass there quickly. What do we think of? What do you like here on 3rd and 3?
I think you're doing something, maybe a little screen play to the outside, or maybe, if not that, something toward the inside. But maybe spread them out here.
Trips to the far side. It will be a quarterback keeper who has the 1st down and more. Ellis gets inside the 5, down to the 2. As they spread him out there, Zach, and that time they hit him right through the middle with the senior quarterback.
Exactly. Did a bit of a mix there. You know, we're talking about spread them out, get the defense thinking you're going to go with the outside, but then you do the little quarterback draw, bring the pull guard in to help you get up the middle there with the quarterback trap. Great execution down to the 2-yard line.
And the time is ticking, and now the jumbo package comes on out. Christian Gavin, Rocco Allegretti, Ethan Reyna, just to name a few. With an empty backfield, a couple H-backs, with Brady Ellis potentially calling his number. He will roll out to the right side. Does he have the corner? He does not. As Brock Dean shoved him out of bounds just about at the original line of scrimmage.
Yep, was able to meet him at the line of scrimmage. They're trying to have a race to the pylon. They both evened out, both ending at the line of scrimmage.
And Ellis is giving it his all here in this one, Zach. A lot of times they're calling his number here. Now looking at the formation here in this one. Now in comes Dylan Gore, the sophomore quarterback, who a little bit more of a passer. I believe we got word that Ellis may have had to come out. We'll get a development on that. But now a second and goal. The play clock is winding down. Will be an inside handoff to Javier McCoy, and he's stuffed again.
Take a guess who met him there, Mike.
Unbelievable. Owen Wishmeyer, the senior linebacker, is all over the field. And the first one on the contact again. Just a low man. I mean, just a perfect form tackle there, Zach. Low man wins, and that time again took care of business.
But here's the development, though, Mike. His helmet came off with that great tackle in the backfield. So now for this big play on third down, he has to be off the field. You see he's still standing on the sideline yelling and coaching his teammates up, but he's not going to be able to be on the field for this play.
Oh, my goodness. What a game. Saw a replay of him cheering his guys on from the sideline as Dylan Gore is the man in the gun. Behind him is Brady Stovall. It will be an inside handoff to Stovall. He's in! Touchdown, Niners!
Just an inside give to get him in there. Stumbles into the end zone at the last second. Touchdown, Niners, putting them on the board finally, taking advantage of Wishmeyer having to come off the field.
And Stovall, who has not had the game to his standards, an inside handoff. You said it, rolls into the end zone. And Andrean finally capitalizes with 5 minutes to go in this state championship.
Got to take advantage of the opportunities when they come to you. See their best player on defense, Wishmeyer, coming off. You run directly up the middle where he would have been.
Kick is up and kick is good. Andrean 7, Brownstown Central nothing. 5 minutes to go. You don't want to listen anywhere else. You're listening to Game Night in the region. Built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. For 26 years, Armor Construction has been beautifying homes across Northwest Indiana. From expert roofing and durable siding to eye-catching custom copper work, Armor Construction does it all with the highest quality and integrity. Serving Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties, trust the best exterior construction company in Northwest Indiana to protect your investment.
Ava, let's go.
Try it on.
The shortest distance between two people is a smile. That's why we're committed to fighting hunger in our communities. Until everyone has a reason to smile. Stratton Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Andrean gets on the board 7-0 here. We're live from Lucas Oil Stadium. Mike Dewan alongside me is Zach Miller for the Class 2A Football State Championship. We also got 3 awards to hand out, Zach, so don't go away anytime soon in the postgame. We got the Crowell Company's Lantern Man, Superhero of the Game, the Business Professional, as well as the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. And finally, the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game, all made possible by Ironworkers Local 395. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a union ironworker. Zach Andrean on the board. There's been a lot of history with this program. And, again, they're trying to win their first state title, Zach, since 2021. A lot has been said about that program in 2004 as well. You see the photo on your screen with Chris Skinner, with Tommy Finn, with a bunch of other greats on the Andrean squad. 2013, another great team as well who made it to the mountaintop. And then most recently, 2021. And this is just a team that is, again, trying to get back to the mountaintop at the 2A class, Zach.
looking to add another one to the mantle. And every game is different. You know, this one, it's been a defensive battle. And when it gets to that point, you got to find the way to win. And that right there, finally punching it in on the goal line, those are the plays that it's going to take.
And now we have a Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. As Andrean will boot this one away, Ichiro Wachowski, the freshman kickoff specialist here, will boot it deep as Brownstown Central will now try to even Andrean with 5 minutes to go here in this state championship. Kick takes a hop. It will be retrieved by the Braves, but not going much further there as Andrean covers well. That was Brock Dean returning the kick, but Andrean flew right down the field.
Flew right down the field, Mike. This is going to be how is the Brownstown Central offense going to respond here? This is an offense, Mike, that we've said multiple times led the state in scoring averages here, Mike. They have been held to 0 by the staunch Andrean 59er defense. What are they going to do here to make a difference? How are they going to get the ball into their playmakers' hands to change what's been happening here for this defense that has not allowed anything?
Andrean scoring drive, 9 plays, 38 yards, around 3 minutes, and all capped off by Brady Stovall, who may be the hero in this state championship game. As the Braves will throw it here on 1st and 10. Sheffer looking to go deep. Jump ball coming down with it. Oh, what a catch. Unbelievable. Preston Garrison over 2 defenders. Wow.
What a throw. I mean, you look at this. They had 2 defenders down the field follow him on the wheel route, and he catches it over both of them.
Those two, Javier McCoy and Gavin Jones. Preston Garrison, 6'1", all 6'1" of them, went up and snagged it. Oh, my goodness.
McCoy was back there, as the linebacker. He was back there following Garrison on that wheel route as part with Jones. Ends up with him getting hurt for a second here, but he was down the field guarding him on that wheel route, and Jones had to come over on the backside to help.
Their biggest pass play of the ball game, Zach, a pickup of called 32 yards there. And you talked about how is this height potent offense. He does a lot more, again, with running the football. How are they going to respond quickly? They don't just throw it down the field. The jump ball to Preston Garrison, who one of the top receivers for this squad as well, 13 catches for 229. As looks like McCoy was the one shaken up on that play. He's walked up under his own power. But a big piece of this defense as well, that they're hoping to get him back in the game if he can. Because now all of a sudden, the Braves are threatening with the ball on Andrean's 42-yard line with 4:46 to go.
Yeah, but this is an offense, though, with Sheffer. He's thrown for over 1,100 yards this year and 11 touchdowns. Just because they run the ball much more than they pass does not mean that they can't pass, showing in that play there.
But now the clock will run, under 5 minutes to go here. A big chunk play for the Braves as they hope to even the score. Will throw it again is Sheffer. Will roll out to his left. Time is ticking. We'll just try and get it out of harm's way. Ball is tipped up, and it is caught. A short pass, but it was a catch brought in by number 20. That is Brock Dean, batted up in the air, and just before he ran out of bounds, kept 2 feet in bounds. That was good on Sundays. And a good pickup. We'll call it 6 yards there, Zach.
It had Gavin Jones in tight coverage. There was able to bobble the pass, force a deflection. Ball bounces in the air, and it goes right into his hands. Great concentration to reel it in on the sideline.
Now ball on the 36-yard line. Clock is stopped. They will give it to Garrison. Over the left side, will be just short of the line to gain. Gets out of bounds. But a good pickup there. About 3.
I believe he's marked just short of the line to gain there. Or no, they give him the first down here.
They will give him the first down indeed. A Four Seasons Mechanical first down, all made possible by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. Also got to give a big shout out to family owned and operated Rearix Heating and Cooling in Maryville, proud to support high school football. 32-yard line are the Braves as they will throw again. Sheffer rolls out right, jump ball. A catch, but out of bounds. What a snag once again. But shoved out of bounds. Coming up with that, I believe that was number 6 for the Braves. Thank you, Kyle Trueblood, who has shown his hands all afternoon long. But that time in on the coverage is Brady Ellish forcing him out of bounds there, Zach.
A mixture of great defense, but a great catch there that's just out of bounds. You could tell that what we're talking about with this offense who's been so potent all year, they're coming alive here at the end, making plays when they have to. But great defense there on the corner, though, by Ellish to not let him get it in bounds.
Now a 2nd and 10. Ball in the 32, 4:18 to go. Man in motion. They will throw it again. Going to set up a screen. Does have a man in the flat, but cannot escape the grasp after a short gain there. That is wrangled down by Mac Custy, the freshman corner, getting some big minutes late in this state championship.
Yep, and Gavin initially had the assignment to guard him there on that slip screen, but he just lit up Sheffer, the quarterback, after that play. Made sure he had to pay for it after he got that screen pass, and they only got a couple yards for it.
Yeah, 3rd and 8 now, so yeah, pickup of 2. Ball on the left hash. The Andrean faithful now on their feet. As the Braves and Sheffer now spins and rolls. We'll try to find a man. He does trip. Ball is over his outstretched arms. Looks like he just got tangled up. No flags on the field. Pass was intended for Preston Garrison, who was well beyond the sticks.
Looking for him again on that corner route, Mike. May have had him there for a second. They tried to undercut the route, but he trips up at the end, unable to connect.
For those counting at home, 2 timeouts are per side. With 3:36 to go, and now the biggest play of the ball game. 4th and 8 for the Braves. Ball on the 30. The Braves seeking their first state title in program history, while Andrean looks for their 4th. Man in motion. Sheffer will roll out right. Try to find a man at the sticks. He has him. First down and a little bit more. Took a shot, but put it right on the money. Completed to Jack Pace.
Once again, Gavin back there in the backfield. But that was a great route, great concept to fake the roll, boot out, and then look back to the other side of the field with the curl right at the sticks.
Had Pace initially on the line of scrimmage at his tight end roll. Got to the sticks, knew where he was on the field, turned, hit him right in the numbers, and got the first down. Stops the clock as well with 3:30 to go. Ball is on the 19-yard line. Now will be a inside handoff to Trevor Branneman for nothing.
Yep, and Landon Murray was able to meet him there right. It's like as soon as the ball was snapped to him, instantly on top of the ball. This interior defense here has been very good for Andrean all game long, not letting anything go up the middle.
Murray's had a heck of a ball game. He's been eating up blockers, and that's if he doesn't get by them already, Zach. So it's been impressive for the junior defensive end. Now a 2nd and 10 ball on the 19. There will be a quick pass here, a slant across the middle, and that pass is caught short of the line to gain, but a good chunk play there to set up a 3rd and manageable. That is True Blood once again.
True Blood, great catch there. It was tight coverage from Jones on the bottom side, but he was just able to fit a perfect place for the ball for only where his guy can catch it, through it low and into the numbers where only his receiver, True Blood, could catch it.
Yeah, great ball from Sheffer. That's not an easy throw. What has been some sticky coverage all afternoon long from Gavin Jones. 3rd and 4 now, ball on the 13. 2.5 minutes and counting to go here in this state championship. Man is in motion. Ball is on the ground. Sheffer trying to make a play, and he will be taken down. Throws the ball out of bounds. But there was no receiver in the area there, Zach. It may not have been a pass play to begin with.
I will be honest with you, there were guys down the field anticipating a run play. It didn't get to the line of scrimmage. I would expect the flag to be called here after some deliberation.
It was a fumbled snap from the jump from Sheffer. Rolled out right, had pressure in his face, just got rid of the ball just to get rid of it, not take the sack, but there was nobody. As Javier McCoy back in the ball game, forced the pressure, and more importantly, believe we have some laundry on the field, Zach.
Yep, they're deliberating about it right now. The white hat on the bottom sideline. They're talking about it. The crowd getting a happy reaction to that, looking for the flag.
Yep, they are already walking it back, and there it is. As this will be intentional grounding on one of the biggest losses of the night for this Brownstown offense. A fumbled snap. Just your survival instincts kick in. And that is a killer. But good for the Niners. This will back up the offense tremendously. And now they will take a timeout. The Braves will. We will take a quick timeout as well. Here you're listening to Game Day. This is the 2A state championship, all built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Back here at the Lucas, as you hear, fans rise to their feet in what is now a 4th and 24 with the ball on the 33-yard line. Gotta have it if you're Brownstown with now one timeout to their name. Two receivers are out wide. Sheffer is back to pass. Clean pocket, does step up, but has to find somebody. Chucks it well short of the line to gain. Ball is caught, but short. Wrapped up by Elish. It'll be a turnover on downs.
Pressure came from the backside there from Landon Murray, who has been getting in the backfield from the inside all game, along with Christian Gavin. Forced Sheffer up to make a pass that was well beyond, only at the about 10 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Didn't have any room to run.
So now Andrean will take over with a chance to ice this one, as the ball is on the 17-yard line. A team that is trying to follow suit of what happened in 2021. As you see the photo on your screen, the last team to win state. For the Andrean 59ers, they fell short in 2022 and now potentially 2 minutes and 11 seconds away from following suit as an inside handoff to Stovall goes nowhere. Actually lost a yard.
Yep, and as you see here, they're going to spend their last couple timeouts here, try and get the ball back.
I believe that would be their last timeout. Zach, we can pull up that photo again, too. That will be, there you see the Andrean 59ers of 2021. So I believe that is their second timeout, Brownstown. So they do have one to go. Nope, that is their last timeout of the ball game. So
spent the last before that 4th down play.
Yep, that's a good point. So, I mean, timeouts loom large here. They burned one in the third quarter, I believe as well. So now they are left with 0. For those counting at home, or yes, Andrean trying to follow suit of that 2021 team and potentially win their 4th state title in program history. Chris Skinner, his 3rd overall, at least between as a head coach and as a player. He was an assistant on the Andrean staffs as well. Started student coaching, I read, in 2007. Part-time, summers, weekends, whenever he's free, just for the love of the game. And has brought him to this point. The Andrean alum, the proud Andrean alum. Now potentially, again, 2 minutes and 6 seconds. A first down could ice it. But now a 2nd and 10 ball on the 17 will be an inside handoff again to Stovall. This time a better run, but not by much. We'll pick up maybe 2. But now the clock will tick as Brownstown cannot stop it. Now a 3rd and 8 here for Andrean.
Just keep it on the ground here. Yep. I wouldn't risk passing it whatsoever just because this is a team that you not let score a single point all game. I would not. Just trust your defense that has not allowed any points all game. Trust them. You do not have to go for the first down here. Just make sure that clock keeps running.
And Andrean will be methodical as they can. I'm sure they will probably milk this down the last second and burn one of their 2 remaining timeouts, and they will do just that. As now 1:19 on the clock, so Andrean runs a play here, Zach, and do the math a little bit. 40 seconds kind of come off that clock, and let's say they do not get the first down. Brownstown will probably get the ball back with, say, around 30 seconds left, give or take, 25 seconds, 30 seconds.
30-ish seconds with no timeouts left for an offense that hasn't been able to score all day, particularly an offense that is so reliant on the run game. I think if you're Andrean, that's exactly the situation you got to play for. Just run the ball, make sure not to give it up, ball security before anything here. You got to stress, do not let them punch the ball out whatsoever. Get down if you need to. Just make sure you run this clock out.
Stay with Zach and I after the game as well. We got 3 awards to hand out. The Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game. Him and I will also, of course, break down the game, and also any festivities going on the field. We'll try our best to paint the picture. But I know we have to kind of get up out of here. There's a game being played after this. Our booth will be given to someone else, but we'll paint the picture for you guys as much as we can with now 1:19 to go here. Going to be a quarterback keeper for Ellish, who has a lane to the 50. He gets the first down. Andrean. Brady Ellish. It's just so fitting, Zach, so poetic. As the senior quarterback gets the job done here.
Gets the direct snap, takes it up the middle, all the way down to the 45, to the 40-yard line, and you see the sideline and the Andrean faithful in the crowd going nuts.
As what is the biggest four-season mechanical first down of the ball game. Andrean now in victory formation as Brady Ellis takes a knee. And it's starting to set in on the sidelines. As for the first time since 2021 and their 4th overall title in football history, Andrean will walk out of this one shutting out the state's best offense, Zach.
If you thought this defense was good before, if you told them they were going to shut down the point-per-game leader in the entire state, better than you thought.
They are as good as gold, Zach. The Andrean 59ers are your Class 2A state football champions.
Better than the best, Mike. What a game.
You're either with them or you're against them, but you'll probably watch. And Andrean, it wasn't pretty. 7-0 was the final score. But they have done it again. Team coming in at 4 in the poll. They took down the top team last week in Adams Central. Punching up once again this week. Taking on a very solid Brownstown Central squad. But it doesn't matter. Chris Skinner does it again. An Andrean culture that's built on winning. And they do it again, Zach.
They do it again. They did it at the 3 levels when it mattered most. They got the defensive stop, got the block on special teams, and were able to punch it into the end zone when they had to, taking advantage of the opportunities they got. It wasn't pretty, like you said, but they did just enough to where they could to win this game.
As you see, they finish shaking hands. You see some of the team leaders of Andrean now. It's really starting to set in. Ben Novak, we see from up here. Chris Skinner's currently being interviewed as well. Guys that just know what it takes. Christian Gavin found instant success here with his new home. And then the young pieces like Tyler Vo, Vinny Zupon, Javier McCoy had a day. Pieces that will be back next year as well. More passing of the torch, if you will. And even well beyond this, Zach, where, hey, if you're not in an Andrean uniform, if you're aspiring to be in an Andrean uniform, this is what it's like.
This is the standard, Mike, the standard of excellence here for the Andrean 59ers. I mean, every player on that defense you can think of made some standout plays today to keep. I just can't stress it enough, Mike, having the best offense in the state get put up to 0 points. Not allowed a single point, Mike.
You said it, Zach, and we'll break it more down. We got 3 awards to hand out. We'll take a little bit of a break here. Don't go away anytime soon. 3 awards to hand out. We'll briefly wrap up this game, give out some thank yous, and say goodnight here from Lucas Oil Stadium. We'll be back here. This is Game Day, built by Armor Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and that means temperatures will soon begin to drop. And a region winter is not the time to be left out in the cold. The professionals at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling can tune up that old furnace or install a new unit that can last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable this winter, and with 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, 219-923-4441. Or for more info, the website is forajobdoneright.com.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Zach, the final here from Lucas Oil, 7-0 in favor of the Andrean 59ers, who are your Class 2A football state champions here in the year of 2025. Zach, any final thoughts? Just a slugfest, a heavyweight bout between two of the state's best teams in the Class of 2A, and Andrean comes out on top.
This was a matchup that both of these teams needed. They got the two best teams in the state showed up here for this. There was no surprise for that. And they just really brought out things in each other that they hadn't seen prior in the season. You know, Andrean, they hadn't had the rushing game stuffed as much as it was today. And then looking at Brownstown Central, they by no means saw this coming for their offensive game. I mean, the fewest amount of points they scored in a game prior to this, Mike, was 31 points last week at Semi-State. That was the fewest amount of points they had scored all season prior to this week. Today, they get 0. That is what stood out to me. That, and then, you know, only 7 points for Andrean, but they made key plays offensively when they needed to move the chains. Thinking about players like Gavin Jones and Tyler Vo, Brady Stovall at the end getting the game-winning touchdown, Brady Ellis being able to move the chains with his feet. So while they only did get 7 points, and the story is the defense, the shutdown defense, they were able to make plays when they had to win this game.
Something tells me we won't stop talking about some of those players you mentioned already, because we got 3 awards to hand out, ladies and gentlemen. First off, we got the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Proud to recognize as superheroes on the football field. And yes, there's a 2-quarterback system with this Andrean squad, but hey, I'll tell you what here, Zach. The play of the senior quarterback, who Brady Ellis, who had, again, taking on a team that runs the football a fair amount, but Ellis, regardless of everything, led the whole game in rushing yards. 21 attempts, 120 yards, had a 28-yard run for the longest, averaged a clip of 5.7 yards per attempt. And again, although did not score a touchdown, was great in the pocket as well. 9 of 12 passing, 96 passing yards, and just showed, again, a lot of moxie all throughout the course of the game, Zach. And to see him take these hits, Zach, 21 carries is not easy to do. And again, also playing defense as well, that is not an easy job, and that is superhero-esque, if you will.
Superhero-esque indeed, Mike. You know, he didn't have the passing game going all the way early. He had an interception, but he battled through, and like you said, making the plays, leading this team where he needed to on the offense, making the plays on the ground, making some nice passes in the receiving game, to move those chains and get it to his playmakers and keep his team in it the whole time. There was never a point in this game where you felt like Andrean wasn't in it, and it's in large part because of Brady Ellis.
All right, now time to name the blue-collar player of the game, all made possible by Boilermakers Local 374, and we could rename this to the blue-collar players of the game here. I mean, this whole defensive unit of Andrean, we knew they were for real, Zach, but this is the test when you take in the state's top-scoring unit and you hold them to nothing.
You hold them to nothing. I mean, just listing players off the top of my head. Ethan Reyna, Christian Gavin, Landon Murray. I mean, Supan. I mean, you're just going off the whole list, right? I mean, Allegretti, Lofe, Murray, Tatum, Ladd, Uzabel, Reyna, Supan, Gavin, McCoy. I mean, these are names we were calling all game long. Mitchell Myers early, stopping those early on. I remember we were calling his name so much for the East to West run game that they shut down by the second half to where they really couldn't go to it for the second half. Brady Ellis on the outside, Matt Custy, Mark Grubbs, Brady Quinn, Bruce Morehouse. All of these names, Mike, we called through all game long that made huge plays that we can't stress enough, kept the leading scoring team in the state. 54 points per game, 0 goose egg, nothing.
They didn't force any turnovers, but, hey, you know, they found a way. This was the team that, you know, just a collective unit, bend but do not break, forced 2 missed field goals, and hung in there for all 4 quarters. And again, pitching a shutout on the biggest stage against one of the best teams, obviously, in the state. And finally, the proud to be Union play of the game, all made possible by Ironworkers Local 395. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a Union Iron Worker. And Zach, with 5 minutes to go in the ball game, we've seen this story before. Somebody gets to the goal line and gets stopped, and it was kind of looking that way for the Andrean 59ers again, but give the ball to Brady Stovall. Trucked his way into the end zone. What would be the difference in this one? Stovall, again, not a great game by his standards. Only had, 6 carries for 11 yards, but more importantly, he had that 1 touchdown, which is the play of the game here
Not
tonight.
A great game by his standards, but a greatest moment of his career up until this point, Mike. A couple times earlier in this game, there were some stops on the goal line for each side, and it was looking, like you said, to be the same case when we got to this 3rd, 4th down. But then Owen Wishmeyer comes out of the game with his helmet off, and Brady Stovall says, all right, this guy comes out of the game. This is my moment now. Drives right up the middle, trucks through a guy, falls over into the end zone, just crossing over the goal line to get the game-winning touchdown.
Just a super fun game to be a part of, super fun weekend. And Zach, as we kind of not only close the book on the Andrean 59ers and their performance here tonight, but also close the book on what has been a fun 2025 season, a fun weekend here at State. Any final thoughts as we kind of shut the book here?
This has been an incredible experience for all of us here at Region Sports and everyone coming down here for the region to see 2 great games, really. Thinking about the Maryville game yesterday, didn't end up going their way, but it was an incredible showing by them through the first 3 quarters. And then going with that game, which was a little more higher scoring, moving on to this game this morning, which is a defensive battle, 7 points scored total. It's just incredible, a defensive showing that you want to show in clinics everywhere across the nation when you're thinking about football for both sides, ending up going Andrean's way with some clutch plays made when it mattered most.
Got to give plenty of shout-outs here for who made this weekend possible. For our management crew, our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, our operations manager, Rich Castillo, our sales manager is Heather Ames, our videographers all across the field, all across those 2 games this weekend, Javi Esquivel, Chris Backus, our man Skibbs, Drake Horn, and Brendan Miller. And special thanks to the coaches here for this game, Chris Skinner and Reed May of Andrean and Brownstown Central, as well as the athletic directors, Neil Demos and Maria Conklin. Also got to give a big shout-out to Nathan Laird. Enjoy this moment. I know this has been a fun ride for him as well, the assistant AD and our old friend here of the Region Sports Network. And you guys, all the listeners on Facebook/Region Sports Nation, on YouTube/Region Sports, and regionsports.com. And last but not least, the partner to the left of me, the producer this evening, as well as, of course, the color guy for these past 2 games. Just a poetic finish to the 2025 season. Him and I started it together. Him and I finished it together. We are especially thankful for this opportunity to be that outlet for you all here at the Lucas Oil Stadium to provide you audio coverage of these 2 local state championship games with Maryville last night. And, of course, Andrean this afternoon, as they are your Class 2A state champions with a 7-0 victory over Brownstown Central. That'll do it from us here. This shuts the book on the 2025 football season on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.